Good morning, Tradeify Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tradeify TV. It is Monday, June 9th, 2025. It is 60 minutes before the New York Open, which means it's time for us to get you ready for your trading day. Well, both Nicks are back today. Background Nick, of course, is in the background where he does his best work. But Mr. White T himself is back. He is to my left as I look, and to the right on your screen. Nick, the best man. How was the wedding, brother?
It was very good. Like literally the best wedding I've ever been to. It was amazing. Like so much crying, laughing, just very, very nice moments. So I really enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed seeing that best man instead of no position under my name here. So that was funny. I checked into Tradeify TV. I just can't, I just can't let it go. Even if I'm
can't stay away. Can't stay away.
It's like it's just
Oh no, I think we lost Nick.
We lost his mic. Well, Nick, we lost your mic, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce the Matsumami herself, Miriam. Miriam, how you doing?
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, everyone watching today. We got a full week now, all three of us. You're stuck with all three of us this week, but we got a lot packed in for you. Yeah, I'm stuck with these guys, and no, but we're excited to be here with you guys. I hope you guys are excited to be here with us. It is bright and early where I'm at, 5:30 in the morning on the West Coast. And, we're ready. We're ready to get this week started. It is Monday, and we have a lot going on. Some data this week. We got some trade deals happening. So, Matt, why don't you take us through from the top here?
Yeah, so if we want to go over to my charts here, we'll start on the 4 hours. So guys, today, this is what I'm looking at today. I'm looking very strongly at the NQ for a few reasons, right? So the NQ, as we've talked about many times on this show, sort of what drives the markets now. Post-COVID, it's tech and it's the Mag 7, right? And as we move on, in this week, we are going to start breaking down some of the Mag 7 charts and some other stock charts. Now, we're a futures show, so that's where 90% of our focus is going to be on. But we are also going to start looking at some of the stock charts and start to help us in some of our futures trading. But this is it for me, guys. This is a 4-hour chart of the NQ. And if we look at this area up here, which has acted as very strong resistance, 21,850, we had this quick pop up a couple weeks ago, and immediately retrace back into the zone. But look at what we've done here. Every retracement has been a little less, right? We had a retracement all the way down here, next retracement to here, now we're to here. Miriam, it feels like they want to kick the door in on the NQ and make a move back towards 22,000. Is that what you see on your charts?
Yeah, actually, I do see that. And it's fun because like we have similar charts here. So, for me, I'm also looking at this 21,860 area. Same as yours, your analysis, Matt. Like we are really just struggling to get above here. We put in a nice tail on Thursday, but we weren't quite able to get through here. So I actually have a zone that starts in the 860s all the way up to 930. So it's quite a decent sized zone, but I think once we get up this area, through this area, and we can actually hold, I think bulls will have a chance to push us up into that 22,000 range. And then from there, we really don't have any levels, at least on my end, until this 170, and then we have a 3-hour zone here, but we do have a little bit of room before we hit that next level of resistance. So I'm curious to see how we're going to deal. This is a 4-hour chart of the Nasdaq you see on my left. ES, same kind of situation here. That 6,000 level was the level we talked about quite a lot, right? And this again is a 4-hour chart of the ES. But as we're looking here, we're creating a really beautiful trend line. This is I guess you can call it a 4-hour trend line. It's also, nicely put on the 1 hour. But the same level is going to be that 6,000 to 6,050. Now we are above, technically we are above that level right now, but I want to see us actually hold and push through this, because the next level, I have a 4-hour zone. It's a really small zone, but it's sitting in the 6,060 level, 60 level. So, we have quite a bit of room. I think if NASDAQ can get above this zone and ES can start pushing into this, we have some room up. But again, I think, futures are going to be reliant on a few things this week. I mean, we have quite a heavy data week. We got, on Wednesday, we have CPI data. We have the PPI data also on Thursday. And then we have the University of Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday. So kind of a packed week, along with, you know, the trade deal going on with the talks are happening today. So it's one of those where, you know, markets could really just be digesting what's going on this week, dependent on what comes out. You know, one of the things is if we come out with a really hot number for the CPI, I mean, that could be factoring in. People are actually expecting the tariff news to be factored into this, in which case, if it is, you know, we get a hot report, it could send the markets back a little bit. Now, we have been in an uptrend, but, you know, we could get that little push back, in which I think most people would actually buy up. So I'm actually feeling a lot bullish, but I think, you know, again, it kind of depends on how this week will play out. I think if the trade deal goes well, that'll obviously help with the sentiment. But that's from a fundamentals perspective. And of course, you know, I'm more of a technical trader. I react to the news rather than try to predict it. So for me, these are kind of the zones that I'm looking at. And I know, Nick, you like to look at more smaller time frames. So what are you seeing on your chart?
Yeah, I'm actually back with my mic, right? Am I?
I can hear you.
There we go. You know what it was? It was it was actually the cat sleeping, my cat sleeping on the cable, and while she was sleeping, she moved and plucked the cable out. That was the reason for the mic loss. But anyways, looking at the smaller time frame here, I heard half of what you guys said because I was still fixing my mic. But what I'm looking at right now is on the 15-minute, this trend line coming from the Thursday 6 p.m. open. Basically, this one has 1.5 touch points is what I like to call it, because the touch point today at 2:30 a.m. is not really like an exact touch point, but that's how it is sometimes with trend lines. So I'm definitely looking for that. If we break that to the downside, I'm looking for shorts. If we hold it, I'm looking for longs. And actually, I'm looking at a potential long right now on the 1 minute. Sorry, Matt. Here on a pretty clean bull flag setup if we break this to the upside. But then, of course, also as a zone of resistance, I do have this 21,880 level down to the 21,840. It's like a 40-point range, 40-ish point range. But plenty of room for me to take along into this. So that's the three or four things I'm looking at right now.
Absolutely. Thanks for the catch up there. But yeah, as Marion brought up, we do have a lot of economic news this week. And guys, I think it sets up, I'm not ready to predict today or tomorrow, but I think by Wednesday, we're going to have some sort of at least short-term resolution on the trade deal. Is or isn't happening. There'll be more meetings, whatever. We're going to have some of this data in. By the end of the week, I think we're going to be really have our catalyst for a strong push. I think higher, but again, it would not shock me, and I wouldn't be disappointed despite my mostly permeable stance for a pullback as well. But just the way that the trend line on your guys' charts is going there, and I put one on my 4 hour as well. It's definitely setting up for. I don't know. Maybe we sacrifice Monday at the altar of the rest of the week in terms of movement. But yeah, and guys, today, be careful. Somebody said in the chat, watch your position size type of catalyst week. That is exactly accurate, because guys, I expect at any time we're going to hear statements about, both sides are going to leave the room. One thing we know about both the Trump administration and the Xi administration is they're going to put their spin on things, right? They're politicians. It's what they do. So I would expect competing statements no matter what happens, right? And so just be careful on that. I don't know that anyone expects a huge deal today. I think maybe there could be some framework, but this could be one of those days. I don't know that we're going to see, I'll say this, knock on wood, and hopefully we do, like a 200, 300, 400 point pop or drop at any point, but a quick 40 to 50 point drop on the NQ, or a quick 15 to 20 point drop on the ES could happen literally at any time this week. So just make sure you have your position sizes is tight, and make sure your stops are set.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is not the week to FAFO, which is fuck around and find out. So you want to make sure you're positioned well for this week. And I think there is money to be made. I think there definitely could be a good week of catalysts that provide opportunities. I know we've kind of talked a lot about this year being a little bit of a difficult year for some traders to trade. And I've heard from traders who have been in the game for 20 plus years, and they've been through it all, right? They've been through the recession of 2008 the economic crisis or the financial crisis. They've been through wars, but even then they're like, this is a difficult market. This is a really hard market for traders to be in. We're seeing 100-point moves in a 1-minute candle. So, you just have to be, in a position where, you're risk adverse, right? You're not positioning yourself for these massive wins. And, we see it, right? You could definitely be making this big money, but you want to put yourself in a position of a longer term perspective, because this isn't just a boom and bust sort of situation. You don't want to just like get these massive gains and then, lose it just as quickly as you got it. So definitely position yourself. There's a lot of money that can be made trading the micros. You don't have to be trading minis, right? You can be trading the micros and get some really good money from that. So just make sure you guys are risk adverse, something that we always have to mention to everyone.
Yeah, that's so important. It was one of the lessons that it took me the longest to learn, actually. I was always oversized, and I was literally stressed the fuck out in every single trade that I took, because I saw the P&L going up and down like crazy, numbers that I haven't even seen any time anywhere before in my life. And once I started positioning smaller, that was when I actually found profitability. So super important, guys, to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will. So, guys, I was before I came on here, I was upstairs in the bathroom. I was doing my hair, getting ready for the show, and I was just thinking, thank you for the poll there, guys. We got bullish, bearish, and flat. That this is. I remember. I got out of the habit recently. It's going back many years. Sunday night would be when especially when I was a stock options trader, would start doing my homework, right? One of my mentors taught me this, and it's something I've done ever since, is that, and for any of you guys in the stock option space, I do recommend this. It's so hard to keep your eyes on everything throughout the day. So what we would do is actually go through over 5,000 charts on Sunday night. Sometimes it would take 3-4 hours, sometimes take a little less, sometimes a little more, and distill that down to a watch list of about 80 to 100 stocks. And that's what we would pay attention to throughout the week. Sort of take our master watch list down to a smaller watch list. So as I was looking at, last night I actually looked at a few things, and I've gotten out of that habit in the last few years, as I've been mostly a futures trader. And every chart that I look at in the indexes screams that this is a decision week, right? This is a week where I'll say this, and we can clip this and make me look stupid on Friday. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time, but I don't think we're going to be anywhere near 21,811 as we sit here right now on Friday. I think we could see a very, very strong push up or down depending on a whole variety of factors. I think it's decision week, and I think this week could really set a tone. Obviously it's going to set a tone for this week. Then we roll into FOMC, and I think this sets the tone all the way into fall and all the way until the next group of earnings. So I'm really interested and excited to see what sort of direction we go. But I think this week is a green or red week could set the tone for probably the next 8 to 10 weeks.
Agreed. Yeah. There's a lot on the line this week. So keep your head on a swivel, guys. That's all I'm going to say. I'm definitely going to.
And keep your position sizes tight. Keep your stop losses tight, guys. This can be a week that just crushes accounts, right? And we've been seeing a lot of those weeks this year, to be fair, right? Big intraday swings with little to no news warning. Anyone who's just kind of laissez-faire in their stops is getting blown out, right? This is one of those in futures, guys. You have to be. It is like options in a way. You do have to be right both on time, or both direction and time, especially as day traders. But I feel like even being right on both, there's still situations where you're getting stopped out. Again, if your position size is too big, I really encourage you guys not. I don't want to see anyone start Monday down, 4+ figures. So let's keep our position sizes tight today, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The mic cat is coming back. She's like, where's another mic I can plug out?
Oh my gosh. She's like, I just want attention.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should kick them out,
Dad. Pay attention to me.
No, they're just sleeping on my desk for now. They're sleeping like the market is until we have the open at 9:30.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is to consider, right? Like I always look at, previous day range whenever, in this case, obviously we're talking about Friday. And right now we're still in Friday's range. I mean, Friday had a pretty, it was like about 100 points or so on Friday. But we have this range that we're sitting in, which is still that 860 levels. So it kind of goes down from, Friday's range is essentially this candle right here. But if we're still stuck in this range, that's kind of another key factor for me to consider. Like, all right, we might just chop around until the economic data comes out this week. We might stay in this range. Now, that's not to be said that no trades can happen. There's definitely trades that can happen, but it's one of those where, unless we get a breakout, preferably actually to the upside for me right now, because I think this could actually break really nicely. There's so much to be made on the downside, of course. I talk about this all the time. We have these trend lines to the downside. We have this 4-hour zone right here, but which we actually held very well on Thursday, by the way. So this is another zone that I would be considering, which stands from 21,467 to 21,400. So it's about a couple point range here, but I think we have room to the downside. Like we always have room to the downside, right? But this top area right here, if we can break this, I think the news will definitely help. But I'm looking at this level to break. Again, we're still in this range. ES's range is going to be sitting right here. So again, that 60-20 to 5960 area. So if we can break out of this 60-20, 60-25, again, I think we have room. So those are kind of the levels. I think ES looks a lot stronger to me. Nasdaq still has some room, to push through, but I think ES looks stronger. It looks more stable, has more of a foundation. So that's something I'm going to be looking at. If Nasdaq can get that push, I think ES will get a nice push to the upside as well. But we'll see, guys. We got a lot going on, so we might not even do anything today. We might stay sideways. So it's kind of one of those.
As usual, it's funny. As usual, our bias poll is bullish. Like I've yet to see a day where the chat is bearish or sideways. It's always.
I think we could open down 3% and the chat would still be bullish.
Yeah, of course.
Then
they're like, oh, that was a good dip. Let's buy it. But it's 59% bullish in the chat right now.
Okay, well, that's actually a little less than it typically is. Yeah, it's interesting. We were talking before we kind of came on here, and I said, we're basically going to open close to flat from Friday's close. Like that hasn't happened to us on this show. Like where almost every single day we've opened. Yeah, maybe not a full percent, but some days a full percent up or down, and some days have 0.75%. Gives us a little bit of a clue on possible direction, maybe a little bit of a bias as we head into the New York Open. We're flat as flat can be right now. We'll probably in the next 40 minutes get a little bit of something. It seems to be sort of that 910 to 920 area. We've been seeing some bigger candles as traders start to position themselves for the New York Open. I don't know. Other than the move kind of at about 6 a.m. Central where we went up probably about 40, 50 points, it doesn't even feel like, you look at the volume delta on the chart and it's just green, red, green, red, green, red, green, green, red, red, green, red, green, red, right? It's back and forth. So we're just not getting any real sentiment as we head into the Open. And honestly, as long as this meeting is going on, which I believe it is right now in London, I don't think there's going to be definitive movement. We're not going to see, I don't think, any 30, 40, 50, 60 point candles until we get statements or news out of this meeting. I tried to disconnect a little bit this weekend, as I try to do from time to time. So I didn't follow up on a lot of this stuff from Friday with the news in the meeting. So I'm not sure how serious it is. Is this a meeting that's going to be leading to another meeting, or are they expected to have a framework coming out of this? For better or for worse, out of the Trump administration, things happen very quickly. So I would expect some sort of news today. My guess is we'll see a tweet or a truth or whatever later today, either optimistically saying, deal is close, or slamming Xi in China if they don't come to the table in the right mindset. So unfortunately, guys, it feels like one of those days we're just going to be waiting for the fundamental news.
Yeah, we're literally sitting 4 points above daily open. So we haven't moved at all. Obviously we went down a bunch of points, we went up a bunch of points, but overall we're just pretty flat right now. And
rejecting your trend line there.
Yeah, we are. We poked out a bit, but now pulling back. So yeah, nothing to look for right now. It's just literally waiting game until we get the real open.
You said you traded the London session, Nick?
Yeah, but just for like what was it, like 9-10 point loss. It was literally nothing happening. There was one bear flag set up, and I bottom ticked it, so I'm bottom tick Nick now. But that's usually how it is with bull and bear flags. If you don't have a really like high volume trending market, you're gonna end up bottom or top ticking it, which is fine because the stop loss is so small, right? The risk to reward on bull flags and bear flags is so good that I'm willing to top tick or bottom tick. Like, I don't really care, because if it goes, it goes. So it's fine for me.
I would be careful heading into the open, though. If we do not have any news in the first hour, I wonder if they try to fake everybody out with a move to highs and maybe suck in some dumb bulls and then rotate us back down towards VWAP. That may be the price action I actually play for if we don't hear any major news in the opening 60. Now, do keep in mind, guys, like I'm saying, if we drift up, towards the 830, 840 level, if we just get one of those candles that just pushes, don't try to short up there, right? That probably means there's news out. The market is going to react to the news before the news hits the wires. So just keep that in mind. So there's going to be one of those situations, most likely in the next 3 days, that something just pops or drops 200 points in a matter of maybe a minute or two, and you're going to be like, well, there's no news out, and then 5 minutes later the news comes out. Just the markets. Yep. It's one of the reasons I enjoy watching the indexes over the years, guys. They always know first, right? They always know first. Major economic data, trade deals, all this kind of stuff. The markets always react first. So we're when something comes down, we're going to know. We just may not know what for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, guys, if you want to see something exciting on the screen right now, I mean, the NQ is not moving at all. ES is not moving at all. If you want to see some numbers that actually move, then smash the like button right now so we can at least make some numbers move.
I love that.
We're bullish on the like numbers.
Yes.
We're bullish on the likes. We could do like number predictions for the days in the future. Like whenever we log on to Tradeify TV, each of us has to give their bet. Or place their bet on how many likes we're gonna get on the stream.
Yeah. I'm sure. The poly market may have a thing on that. So,
Yeah.
to the couple individuals asking about a support issue in the chat, guys, we have no control over support. We don't have contact with support. All I'd encourage you is to put a ticket in on the website or go to the Discord and ask one of the mods there. We don't have any access or anything to anything support wise. So. Also a good place for any questions you have on account rules or anything like, of that nature. Highly encourage you to check out the FAQ on the website, and highly encourage you to check out the Discord. There's a great group of moderators over there. You may start seeing us pop up a little more over there as well, but just, we don't have any control over that, but I don't want to leave the question unaddressed. That's, that can be a little shady. So I just want to point you in the direction of our very, very capable support team.
Nice.
Yeah, fair point.
Nick, I have a question for you in terms of, because I know you trade the London session more than you typically used to trade the New York session, right? So I mean, you're trading the New York session, you're here with us, but how are you differentiating your trades between the two? Are you sizing differently for London versus New York? Are you more specific with your entries on one or the other? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, good question. So on the London session, in regards to sizing, I usually trade London session with like 5 minutes, whereas I trade the US session with 5 to 10 micros. So way less on the US session, but also when it comes to the setups, there's a difference, because I do trade bull flags and bear flags during the London session. I do trade bull flags and bear flags during the US session, but the difference is, for the London session, I look at the 1 minute chart for a bull flag break. And whenever the 1 minute candle closes outside of the bull flag, like outside of the trend line, if we look at my screen here really quick, let's say we would have a 1 minute candle that goes out and closes outside. That is when I enter into a move, right, in a long. But on the US session, I pretty much enter it right on the break, and I don't wait for the candle close. Because if I do wait for the candle close, my stop loss becomes gigantic and it doesn't make any sense anymore. So that's pretty much the only difference. The setups are the same, sizing is smaller, and I wait for more confirmation on during the London session.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, it's interesting too because I know we both like to trade trend lines, and it's always a question of, do you enter at the breakout? Do you wait for a candle close? That's, I think, been like the $1 million question that I've
Yeah.
received. And it's
Well,
hard
it
too
depends
because
on the time frame, right?
yeah, because I know you trade the 1 minute, so candle
Yeah.
could close a lot sooner. Um, but what I'm hearing is you like to just get in on the breakout and take it from there.
Yeah, during the US session, yes. London, as said, like I wait for a 1 minute candle close, which for you, if for example, if you trade the 5 minute, that is still the breakout candle, right? That has not closed yet while I'm already in the trade.
Right.
So it really depends on what time frame you're looking at. But when you're looking at trend line breaks, Miriam, like what is the time frame you take a trades on? And I know I've asked you this multiple times, but it's always interesting for people that may be new right now to the stream to hear that.
Yeah, I've changed this a lot because it kind of depends on the market environment, what sort of catalysts we're working with, like a lot of things. It depends on it. But what I've noticed is the 2 minute for me is my sweet spot for analyzing trades. I like to look at both the 5 minute and the 2 minute. The 5 minute is important for me for, like, obviously a bigger time frame, more of a holistic point of view. But I think the 2 minute for me is really where I analyze my setups, especially because my type of trading is a lot more aggressive. It's a lot more a scalp, really. It's a scalping setup. So for me, I don't like to be in a trade. I like to get in on the quick breakout and then exit my position. So I'm not in a trade super long. It's very rare for me to stay in a trade longer than like 10 minutes. And so I typically like to go for those quicker moves. So I will get in on the breakout, which means I would be looking on the 2 minute time frame. Now, we've been seeing a lot of fake out breakouts lately. And so I'm a little bit more cautious about this strategy since we've been in this market environment. But typically, for options, for example, like I used to trade options a lot, and that was something that didn't rely so much on your entry, like, because with options you see your profit and loss like fluctuate like crazy, whereas with futures you have to be a little bit more strategic with your entries, because you could have a really big stop loss. So for me, it kind of for me to get in on the breakout, it will have to be a higher conviction trade. So a lot of other things will have to play into that. So meaning I have to have more confluence with that trade. But at the same time, it's also important that I'm not sized into a position where my stop loss is now, 30, 40 points, but I'm in, 5 micros or something, right? Like that doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah.
it just kind of depends on the actual setup. But I do like to get in on that breakout on the 2 minute.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
Pulling back about to the 800 level here, guys. We're right kind of at the daily open, right at the +1 standard deviation band, but we're really kind of in a range between 800 and about 825-ish, and that's being generous. Guys, our 5-minute ATR is 11.28. That's insanely low. So again, it's just a lot of chop right now. Although wasn't it the last time we had a pre-market like this, guys? We just shot up like 150, 200 points at the open with no news or no warning. So,
Right.
Literally while Miriam was drawing the trend line.
Yeah, it did that, and then didn't really give us any more opportunities after that. It just barcoded out after that. So yeah, the markets have been a fickle little bitch these last couple of weeks here. But we'll do what we do. We take our setups when we have them. If we don't have setups, we don't trade. But outside of that, boy, it is a Monday. It feels like a Monday morning. It's the first time I can say that in quite some time, and I don't say that necessarily in a negative connotation. I will say this. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but like since I became consistently profitable as an options trader and then moving to futures, like I don't hate Mondays anymore. It's like I should get a little antsy on like Monday holidays, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, stuff like that. I'm like, I just want to trade. Like, let's open these markets, right? So yeah, but it does feel a little bit like a dragging Monday. Like maybe the big boy market makers are not out of bed yet. They're still getting their bagels from the street carts in New York and just ready to not showed up to work yet. So hopefully they do, and hopefully we get some things moving.
Yeah. It's funny, Mondays, we talk about Mondays before and how, for me, Mondays are typically not my favorite days to trade because, because of that excitement, right? You go, traders look forward to the week, as opposed to a 9 to 5 where, Mondays are not days that you want to be working. But for traders, it's a big day, right? The market's open, you get the volatility. But it's also a time to be a little cognizant about your excitement, because, you go the weekend without trading and then all of a sudden the market's open, you're just itching for a trade. So it's psychologically, you just have to check yourself a little bit and make sure you're not letting the excitement of the trade actually force you into one, which is why traders tend to have a little bit harder Mondays, because of that excitement. So just watch yourself, guys, before you wreck yourself.
Yeah, it's market makers got weekend hangovers. Yeah, they were all at the wedding with Nick, but
Yeah.
I also see whoever trades the German bun, it's at support. So I got the best German bun from this bakery downtown a couple weeks ago. It was chocolate. It was fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. So were there any market makers at the wedding with you, Nick?
No, actually not. But I was just looking at my stats here, and I see out of the last 6 Mondays, I was red on 5 of them. That is interesting.
Wow.
That is interesting.
There you have it, folks.
Yeah.
But it
Well,
can also be
didn't Coach Tank tell us? We'll ask him this when he's on the show next. Didn't Coach Tank tell us Monday statistically for almost every trader are the worst day?
But
Yeah, he did say that.
Yes, he did. He did. But for me,
And that was, I think,
statistically, it's
after a
not.
Monday that I had a red day.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
You're just illustrating his point for him.
Yeah, but for me, it's statistically not. I mean, out of the last 1.5 months, yes, it has been. But if I look over the last couple of years, not at all. No pattern. So it's weird. Anomaly.
All right, so we are 26 minutes from the New York Open here, and obviously not a ton happening in the indexes. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, guys, Miriam, we had a great series of questions on Friday. Like, I feel like the chat, it was the best it's been for any show we've had. Not to disparage the other ones or this morning's, but I feel like Friday's chat, I was telling Nick this before you came on this morning, was the best. Like, good questions, intelligent questions. Nobody spamming the chat with giveaways 30 minutes after the giveaways were done. So it was a really good chat, and I see some of the same names. We've got our regulars.
Yeah, it was a really great week. But yeah, Friday we had it was Matt, me, and our good old Brett. So we all we sat around and we kind of went over our session for a little bit, but it was a really great week overall, and that's something we strive to give you guys every single week, and so we're going to continue having guests. We're going to continue having maybe surprises for you guys, so just stick around with us and make sure that you also like and subscribe this channel, because that helps us help you guys and provide value and just get our name out there. So again, appreciate all of you guys for joining in with us every single morning. I know we see the regulars in here, so we appreciate you guys for rocking with us in the mornings. And I want to know, actually, too, where are you guys from? Where's the chat from? Drop it in. Where are you trading from? Where are you listening from, tuning in from? I know all of us are kind of like scattered as well, but I want to know. I want to know where you guys are.
If we got somebody who lives like in the Asian area, we could have like the whole globe covered. Like, like somewhere either in Asia or like the middle of Russia, we could have the entire globe covered on this show. I do want to address the question that is getting pushed off my screen now. As far as news, like where do we get our news from? There's a bunch of good curated Twitter groups out there. I personally use a feed called the Trade Exchange. You can Google them, and I'm not an affiliate with them. I have no business relationship whatsoever with them outside of being a paying customer. And between 40 and $70 are there per month, or they're really fast. That's why I use them. But I know we've had this conversation with Brett before. He has about 7 Twitter feeds that he follows. I know some of you guys do as well. Very important, I think, in this market environment, to have some sort of news feed that's pretty quick. I mean, you can't be waiting 5 minutes for news. It's got to come in as quick as possible. So that's what I use. I think, Miriam, I think you use a Twitter feed, right?
I use Twitter. I also use Benzinga. So yeah, there's a lot of free resources out there as well. If you're not able to purchase it as a resource. There's definitely some free resources, but I also want to sound off here. We got a lot of people from a lot of different areas. I'm actually surprised to see this. We have London, Kentucky, Connecticut, New Jersey, Boston, Switzerland, another Switzerland in the house. SoCal, love it. Represent SoCal over here. Australia, Morocco, South Africa. Wow, we got a lot up in the chat. Thank you guys
We
for
do have
putting
Asia
that in
too.
there.
We do have Thailand and the Philippines, Matt. So there we go.
Oh yeah, we got some Asian countries in here as well. Well, good morning or good evening to all of you. So I don't even know that we got all sorts of time zones in the chat here.
Good everything to you guys.
I love that. That's awesome.
Oh
All
boy.
right.
All right. So it is a Monday here, guys. We are now 23 minutes to the New York Open. Oh, we just got announced in the chat. They're looking at 500 likes, and we will do some free resets, guys. So smash that like button. Get in here under your alt and smash the like button as well. And once we hit 500, we will do some free resets. But yeah, I think everyone's just kind of still waking up a little bit. Market's clearly still waking up a little bit. The bad news is we don't really have necessarily a major bias, at least I don't, going into the Open. The good news is, though, I think we really do have room in either direction if we get going. Now, we've got again, from about 800 to about, we'll call it 825, very tight range on the NQ. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to play the first breakout or breakdown from that range. I think the first one could be false, but I think we could definitely get a nice little momentum going. I do want to draw everyone's attention quickly to the SPX. The SPX closed 37 points or 37 cents above 6,000. So where that opens and where it goes is going to be very important today as well. The ES obviously is a little bit above that, but Miriam, 6,000 in the SPX is kind of a line in the sand. We've seen that over the prior couple of weeks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we did try to dip above that level on the SPX, but we got as high as 60.13. So let's see if we can actually get that momentum. We're about, who knows where we're going to open, right? That's another thing that I like to look at on the ES, and I'll pull up SPX right next to it. But when we're looking at SPX is a play that I used to trade in options, and it was something that it was something that I traded often because of the volatility, and I don't know why it's not showing up here on my screen, but it was something that I really like to trade, and I looked at ES often for that level. And you can see on ES, that 60.25 was the area that we topped out. 60.13 was also the area on SPX that we topped out. So we'll see where we open, because typically what I like to see on SPX, and I apologize, it's not opening up for whatever reason, but whenever we get an open on the markets, SPX will typically have a gap. Now, sometimes it doesn't, and it just opens flat, but depending on where that gap is and how big it is, right? If we open, with a gap down, for example, I would expect that gap gets tested in some sort of way. So we'll see where we open here, and I'll kind of announce it and make sure that we're aware of that. But we did close above 6,000 on the SPX on Friday, and that was the first time in a really long time that we've closed above 6,000. So that's going to be a level of resistance that we definitely want to make sure that we're aware of. So we'll see what we get, guys. I think we definitely still have room to the downside as well. There is a current gap on SPX sitting below like 59.78 all the way down to 59.40. So if markets do pull back, I would expect that ES will definitely get that movement to the downside as well. So something I'll be looking for potential play.
All right, makes sense. We actually also have, how much is it? 19 minutes until the Open. Just want to make sure we keep that in mind. Matt, is there anything you're looking at before the Open or no?
No, I think for me, I just want to see the initial move out of this either 21. Let's call it 21,790 to 21,825. I think that's the area I'm looking at for a breakout or breakdown. And again, I'm not going to take the first one, but that's the area that I'm initially looking at.
Okay, got it. Are we waiting for the 50-minute opening range or what?
Probably. Again, it's Monday. let's just see. Let's see what the hell happens on. Again, let me ask you guys this: would anything shock you at this open the way the last couple weeks have gone?
Not at all.
No.
Nothing has shocked me in this market since, I mean, for a while, but especially in 2025, nothing's shocked me. So no.
Well, the only thing that would shock me if market was moving like it was 2022, that would shock me. Everything else, nope.
Yeah, it's I've realized like trading is better operated in what I call a gray zone, right? You're not waiting on like that perfect entry or that perfect setup, but you're also not expecting a certain move. Like you really want to trade in this area where, you know, anything can and will happen, but at the same time, you're not like getting the perfect entry, right? You just, if a trade aligns with your setup, if all the stars seem to align, right, the probability is in your favor, take the trade, right? That's what builds confidence as a trader, is you do the same thing over and over and you get similar results, right? You're not getting you know, the exact same result every single time, because nothing's 100% in trading, right? But you realize these patterns start working out in your favor. That's how you build confidence, and that's how you start taking these setups over and over again. Even if it doesn't work, you know, 2 times out of 10, right? It's still a good setup. So that's something to also consider. You know, if you're kind of struggling in this market, look at some patterns that are working for you and start backtesting these sort of setups, and work in this gray zone, right? It doesn't have to be 100% and clear, and you know, it's not always going to be. So that's you know, it's something that I've realized in this market, that yes, you want to be cautious, but at the same time, take the trade if it works in your favor. The probability is there, take it.
Yeah, very true. Don't be scared to take a trade. Which
Yeah,
is funny that I say it, because I literally missed 5 trades in the last couple shows.
Would you have gone long here?
Gotta be fair and transparent. What's that?
Was this like you going long in this setup? Because I saw it's possibly like breaking your trend line at this point.
Yeah, but I'm not going long yet. This is still like, if we're forming a bull flag over a certain period of time, in this case, we've been forming this for like almost 2 hours, like 1 hour and 50 minutes or 40 minutes. If that's the case, I'm waiting for a break on the 5 minute and then a bull flag on the 1 minute, and then I enter the trade, because otherwise you get a lot of fake outs in my experience. Well, also, we see it in the chat. Guys, hit the like button. What are you doing sitting here doing nothing? Hit the like button right now, because if we get to 500 likes, we're going to give away some stuff as usual, which is going to be nice. But also there's a question in here, Mary, I'm not sure if you saw this already, from Nico. He asked, how much do you risk per trade in relation to your max drawdown?
It's different every single trade. It's my risk is different every trade. And the reason is because not every single trade is going to be the same. There's going to be, you know, of course you want to shoot for an A+ setup every single time, but there are some setups that aren't A+ that I still take. In which case for me, you know, it could be a setup that has potential. I think, you know, something like this I took last week actually, where I called it a hero trade, right? So my risk was really small in that trade, because if I was wrong, I wanted to be wrong and move on. And so for me, it kind of depends on each trade. I don't like to typically, if I'm going like my full position size, I don't like to risk more than 20 points. That's just kind of like my typical number. But there have been trades that I've been where I've risked 40 points. And on a 40-point trade, I'm looking for a bigger move. I'm looking for an 80+ point move. So you know, for me, it kind of depends on the setup. It kind of depends on like what we're looking at. Now, if I am risking 40 points, you best believe I'm not in my full position, right? So you have to treat each trade case by case and look at, all right, given this scenario, what is my potential outcome? And if that's a high probability setup, then yes, maybe risk closer to your, you know, position size. If not, if you're not comfortable with the trade, that's another thing I always say. If you're not comfortable in a trade, no matter how good it looks, then don't size heavily on it. Simple, right? You don't have to make like this big banger of a trade. whatever, if you're not comfortable in a trade, that is number one going to easily be a reason why you pull out of a good trade, or you risk too much on something that you shouldn't be highly risked into. So that's just something I always say, like, make sure you're not uncomfortable in a trade, but also like take the position if it works out in your favor, but also be aware of your risk as well. So that's just something for me. It kind of depends on today. I'm probably not going to risk very much. I'm probably going to do, I'm going to size very lightly, just considering it's a Monday for me. Mondays are interesting days for me, so I'm going to size down just specifically because it's a Monday. But also,
What's your
we might not.
what
get a
is
move.
your sizing light, Mariam? What's your size when you size light?
So on my personal accounts, a light size for me is going to be about 2 minis. One mini, 2 minis, maybe even. So usually if I'm trading one mini, I'll trade micros. So I'll trade like 15 micros or 10 micros or something, just because I like to scale out of a position. Now, if I'm trading a funded account or for us, we have our Tradeify accounts. If I'm trading that, I'm definitely going to be trading the micros. I'm not trading a full size position by any means. A full size position for me on an account like that is going to be 25 micros at most, right? Like that is like my full size. Now today I'll probably stick to like 10, maybe 15 depending on the setup, but that's kind of my typical size.
Yeah,
I do want to address the question before it goes off my screen from Romize. When markets barcode, how do you all prevent yourselves from trying to force a trade with no A+ setups? And that's a tough one. I mean, I'll answer it and then I'll kick it to you guys. Like for me, a lot of it just comes from experience, right? Like in the past, I would try to trade barcode action. I'd get stopped out of trade after trade after trade. And in tight barcode action, you're not the danger is not that you take one big loss. The danger is that you take a couple small losses and figure that you can keep going, right? And all of a sudden, 3 or 4 small losses turn into 4 to 5 small losses, and all 4 losses at $300 is a busted account on most days, right? And it can be tough, right? We want to trade, but the temptation is to think we're traders, the markets are open, therefore we trade. But in reality, we're traders. We only trade when the markets are open and when we get an A+ setup. Even when you get frustrated with no setups, even when there's people in the chat screaming at you to take a trade, you don't take a trade unless you have a high probability setup. And guys, there have been more days in calendar 2025 I haven't taken a trade than all of calendar 2024. That's just the way this year has worked. But so the average winner is a lot bigger this year because of the way the markets are moving. So it's guys, it's just that big D word that we talk about on this show, discipline. Right, you have to have the discipline to stick to your setups, to not variate. If you go weeks without a setup, well, then you need new setups. You need setups that occur a little more often. You need to learn how to manage your trades. But honestly, the half of trades are poorly managed. Half of losing trades are poorly managed, and the other half are ones you shouldn't be in to begin with. And so, getting rid of those is one of the keys to becoming, inconsistently profitable to consistently profitable.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, barcode action is tough. It's really tough to trade this sort of action. I mean, there's traders that specifically trade ranges, right? They like that kind of barcode action because all they're doing is just taking the top and the low, and whatever it fails, then that's when they stop trading. But the market will present an opportunity for every single type of trader, and you just have to identify what that looks like for you. What is your trader identity? And notice that, you don't have to be trading every single day because your setup might not present itself every single day, especially if you are someone who doesn't trade like on smaller time frames. You like looking at bigger time frames, or you like that bigger move, so you're looking for a multi-day trade. And that's just something that you develop over time as a trader, and you find that by taking enough trades and looking at the patterns and journaling and saying to yourself, all right, this is my sweet spot, this is what I enjoy, this is what I like, and you get used to finding these patterns just naturally, right? Like I can look at a chart now and just see, okay, there's a trend line right here without actually having to draw it. So your eye gets used to that sort of look, or that sort of pattern recognition. But it's something that you're going to have to just spend time doing for yourself, right? You don't just learn to ride a bike overnight, or learn to read when you were a kid. You had to put in the practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, you know, I think it's something that a lot of traders go in thinking, oh, I can make all this money really quickly. And yeah, in trading, you can make a lot of money very quickly, but you can lose it just as quick. So you have to be, you have to give yourself that time, because this isn't just a get rich quick scheme. You have to give yourself that time.
It's definitely a get rich slow at its best.
Yeah.
Also, guys, we have 7 minutes and 43 seconds until market open, and we need about 170 likes more to start rolling out the giveaways. So smash the like button so we can actually give you some stuff. Today we're going to do growth and advanced account resets for free. So make sure to hit the like button so we can actually give that to you. Sorry guys, didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh no!
It's
Now
okay.
now you got to go for the next 10 minutes. Take us to the open, Nick. Mary and I are gonna go get some more. She's gonna get some more matcha. I'm gonna go get another cup of coffee. Take us into the open.
Well, I'm just gonna point the camera at my cats, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, and they're gonna smash the like button like crazy.
If we
How
know
many cats do you have?
2.
only 2, you get those are rookie numbers, man. You got to get those numbers up.
You know what? I don't know if he can do it, but I'll now send a picture to Drew, our amazing producer. Maybe he can pull them up.
Yeah,
So
Drew's like, I got enough shit to do today. What are you sending me cat pics for?
Yeah, I'm gonna send him cat pics right now. I'm actually gonna.
Well, if there's one truth about the internet, it's that cat pics will always equal likes. So I guess we can't we can't be mad at that.
Oh
Very
yeah.
true. Wait,
Cats
I'll
are
send
funny.
one. Now you got to take over, because I'm definitely not able to multitask, and I need to find pics.
Well, and if you're waiting too long to feed one of them, they're just going to kick your microphone out of its slot again. So
It seems like it.
that was
Seems like it.
intentional.
Uh,
That was intentional, I believe. It's just like, oh yeah, MFer, you're gonna ignore me? Here, try to do the show without your microphone, asshole. All right, guys. So we're about a little under 7 minutes. Now we are 6 minutes to the New York Open. Now's the time, guys. Take a couple of breaths. Take a couple of deep breaths. Just relax. It is time to get your heart rate down. You know, Miriam, you and I have had this discussion before about like the last few minutes into the open. And I told you I used to play some hardcore music, like get myself amped. I'm ready to go. Let's do this, right? And then I would do something really stupid in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the market. So for me now, it's all about taking a couple of breaths, relaxing, and just being ready for whatever the market's going to throw at you. I do some. I know Brett talked about doing, or Asanka, I believe, maybe Brett too, talked about some visualization a little bit before the market. But bottom line is, we don't really have any sort of clue as to what direction we're going to head today. Markets are probably just going to be holding their breath until whatever news comes out of London on the meeting with China. So it's the time to just relax, get yourself another cup of coffee or matcha or whatever it is you drink in the morning to intake your caffeine, and just be ready to make a trade if and when it appears. But also on a day like today, be prepared to sit out that first hour and wait for a break.
Yeah, it's definitely it takes time to train yourself to not get excited when a candle moves, right? Like we witnessed this happening all of last week, where I mean we mentioned it, right? But oh my God, we gotta pause for a moment here though. Nick, these are yours, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh
Drew
my
is
God.
a genius. He's a wizard. How does he do that?
Look
yeah,
at
they
these
sleep a
little
lot.
guys.
They sleep a lot. Maybe we can even see the other one, because the other one is kind of funny. We have to pause for a second, just admire. They literally always come to the table when we eat, and they just sit there and expect that we serve them a plate. You know, they behave like humans. It's kind of funny.
Oh my gosh, are they? What kind of breed is that? Is that a Siamese? Oh,
It's there we go. There she is, waiting for food. No, these are British short hair, actually. Very, very weird, because British short hair usually are like gray, but
Right.
they're called blue point, so they have like white fur and then blue eyes, like really bright blue eyes, which you can't see here because she's like, oh, where's my fucking food? Yeah, they're super cute.
They're
Depends on
adorable.
what part of London she's from. That's the
Well, probably from an Azanka's neighborhood.
there you go.
That's adorable. Well, we hope that, this actually helped bring everyone's blood pressure down because that's what everyone should be practicing is, some breathing techniques. But I know that definitely helped reset my equilibrium there.
Yeah, Coffee Buff has a good point. Now we know why Nick only wears white tees so that it doesn't show up his cat hair all the stream.
That's a good
There
point.
you go. All right.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. But enough about cats. Let's actually lock in. We have 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be a show about the market, so we'll get to the market.
True. We'll get back to it.
Well, we're also about less than 100 likes from this giveaway, guys. So make sure you are hitting that like button.
We're still in a consolidation also on the, if we look at the charts right now, on the 1 minute, we're consolidating before open, which is very, very usual. It's actually funny. I don't know about you guys, but I see a lot of times at 9:28 or 29, I see a heavy volume candle for whatever reason, breaking out of a consolidation. But let's see what happens today. But I'm definitely looking for a break to the upside here. That would be my play. If that doesn't happen, then I'd like to see what the 50-minute opening range delivers. But we have 2 minutes and 3 seconds until market open.
2 minutes and 3 seconds. I love it.
Boy, if it weren't for this show, I would have woken up like a couple hours ago, looked at the charts and be like, I'm going back to bed. I'll see you in the afternoon.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what we get right now. I mean, this trend line is holding on ES. So I've said this before, but I really do like ES's chart a lot better than NASDAQ's. It feels a little bit more structured. Of course, NASDAQ is always big, guys. I know. NASDAQ is the way to go. But for ES is definitely I think overshadowed or overseen, not overshadowed. NASDAQ overshadows ES, but I think ES is underplayed sometimes. And I think Nick, we're gonna have to get you to trade ES one of these days. Nick's never traded ES.
Wow, that's surprising.
Should I?
One of these days.
I do want to remind everyone as we get ready to, we are 60 seconds from the open, because we saw this with the with some of the giveaways last week. Make sure you're live on the stream, guys. Sometimes you click away or you put us in the background or whatever. Sometimes it the stream will temporarily pause. And we had a couple people I know that on Friday said they weren't able to participate in the giveaway because they didn't realize they weren't live. So make sure that the little red dot is next to live in the bottom, I believe, left-hand corner of your YouTube screen. I'm not sure. I think it just stays live over on X, and I'm not sure how Twitch works. But yeah, so just make sure you're live on the stream. Check it every 20, 30 minutes so that when we do giveaways or polls or you just won't, you'll hear our nice witty comments as they're happening. So, all right, guys, it is time for the New York Open. Everybody knows what that means. We are now 5 seconds away
from the good old
4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, motherfuckers. Let's go.
I was waiting for that. Gotta love it. Let's see if we can get that break here.
Now, motion, New York always opens at 9:30 Eastern. I'm on Central Time, so I may occasionally slip up and say 8:30. I apologize. And if you see the time thing on my screen, it'll show 8:30. I'm on Central Time, but the New York Open is always 9:30 Eastern Time.
All right, currently holding this 800 level on the NASDAQ. What I would be probably looking for is 790 to hold. VWAP sitting down here at 773.75 level. So I would expect us at minimum for bulls to hold the 763 area. That is pre-market low, and also we're looking at the VWAP break and the trend line break. So if we can hold these levels at a minimum, you know what, I'm going to change that and just say 750. 750 is that area I would expect to hold as a minimum on bulls if we get down here. But so far we are getting a stronger move. ES is struggling a little bit more than the NASDAQ. So that's an interesting sight to see, because if we get ES pulling back here, it could pull the NASDAQ as well. So let's see if we can hold this 6,000 level on ES. We're getting some selling pressure coming in on book maps as well.
Starting to break my trend line to the downside here.
I do kind of like this move. I don't typically like getting in right at the open, but I do kind of like this break if we get 6,000 to break here.
I told you I'm not necessarily going to trust the first move out of this zone.
Yes,
Just
still
observing right now.
Holding as well. This is a lot weaker here at the open.
True, much bigger move. How many points did it move on ES so far?
About 6 points or so. 7 points. I would say 6,000 is going to be that level for me to watch on ES. So if we break 6,000, guys, I'm going to be considering a short. But that's also indicative that NASDAQ also gets the move down, which I think if we get that push from ES, we'll get the move on NASDAQ as well. But NASDAQ is actually feeling a lot stronger at this time.
Motion, you got a great question there. Unfortunately, that takes me off on like a few minute tangent. So I'm going to ask if you're still around in like an hour to put that question back in. Because when we get into things outside of trading, like, you know, how much do you drink the night before, whatever, like I actually tracked a lot of that stuff for a long time. Not the last two things you mentioned there, but at least not the first one either, but like alcohol, caffeine intake, stuff like that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Right now, we're kind of at the open, so I want to concentrate on that. But good question, very good question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. Yeah, I like that.
We're holding up on NASDAQ though. We're still moving around the weekly open, daily open.
Lots of buyers here at 21,775 on NASDAQ, so we are holding that level. Next level of resistance, though, I see on NASDAQ is 837. 837, there's a wall of sellers sitting here. So I see your question, Ashan, or Ashan. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but I thought you were a trendline breakout trader. What exactly you're looking for in book maps? So yes, I do trade the trendline breakouts, and this would have been a nice little breakout. The reason I didn't take this was, well, first of all, right at the open. I don't like typically trading right at the open, but we also, we have some resistance here. My risk to reward on this wasn't my favorite. Now I am watching the 6,000 though on ES, because if we do break, we have room down to this 92, 93 level, and then even further. So that is something that I'll be looking for. Again, 6,000 is a psychological level. So if I were to take this trend line, we would have had VWAP here sitting at less than a couple points, and then considering we would have probably held that. But right now we are getting some selling pressure coming in on the ES. NASDAQ is at 77.5. I'm watching
but they're
here.
Coming in as well on NASDAQ.
Yeah, we're filling these orders here. So I'm going to be watching the 6,000 level.
First 5 minute candle closing here in just a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to break here. NASDAQ's still holding. That's my only concern right now, is NASDAQ holding this 770 area.
It just bounced off of VWAP right now.
Yeah.
For me, that's it's starting to form an A+ setup, like breaking a trend line on the 5 minute, closing outside, and then starting to form like I would need to see a bear flag forming on the 1 minute, and then I'd take that break.
Currently holding 6,000 on ES. NASDAQ getting a lot of sellers actually at the 75 now. We might get this push down if we can't break back up above 75 or 80 on the NASDAQ. Getting some selling pressure really coming in here.
We're literally eating up the entire London session within minutes.
Ooh, yeah, NASDAQ's not looking too hot.
Well, it is for us.
Well, now it's... See, those orders are gone.
How many do you still see on bookmaps?
So originally there was a thick wall of sellers that formed at 75. Typically those are like phantom orders, so I do like to wait and see. But right now we are holding. If we can get back above 75, this trade is not going to be one that I take here. But ES is the one that looks a little bit weaker to me. We do have to get back up above 6,007 for me to invalidate this short. Otherwise, we could reject this 6,009, 6,007 area, in which case, I would still like this short. I just don't like, see, here's the thing, and I talk about this with you guys all the time, as I say, when futures are not in sync with each other, it's a little bit concerning, right? When I say that right now, right, I'm looking at both the 5-minute charts on ES and NASDAQ here. So when I'm looking at, for example, VWAP is kind of that source of truth for me right now, because we're just flirting with VWAP on the NASDAQ versus on ES, we're sitting well above it or well below it. So I don't like to see the NASDAQ above that level, and I don't like to see ES below that level. I want to see them both below that area. And right now, NASDAQ is the stronger of the two, which means if I'm going to short ES, I want NASDAQ to follow. So for me, I would want to see NASDAQ come back down below the 760. Hopefully ES, ES will likely be below the 6,000 level, but I would feel more comfortable being in a short if both futures are in sync with each other, which they are not right now. So something else to be cautious of, because if you enter a short and NASDAQ starts pushing up, it's gonna carry ES with it. So just be careful, guys. I would ideally like to wait for this first 15 minutes. We've had quite a range here on the we would have quite a range here on the 15-minute, but it is something that I kind of like. We are rejecting the 6,007 level though, so that would have been
NASDAQ is looking weak, honestly.
ES is a lot weaker.
Again.
Yeah,
we're below VWAP again.
I will consider a really early entry here. Again, just kind of waiting on this confirmation. NASDAQ getting the move down here now. 750 is still going to be that area that I would like to see break.
Yeah, guys, anybody saying in the chat we reached 500 likes, we're going to do giveaways shortly after, but we first want to trade the open and see what happens. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe because we need to be at 12K subscribers as well.
I may also consider a light entry on a short here if we get into 6,007, 6,006 on ES. Otherwise, I might just take the breakout because I do like that we are retesting and not able to get above, because my stop would be tight. So if I got in at 6,006 area, my stop would be 6,009. So about a 3-point stop on ES, which I would be comfortable with.
Matt, anything you're looking at right now?
Yeah, I'd actually feel a little better if we got back above VWAP. I think just based on some of the balance areas, a push over 780 could be we could retest the highs. Now that being said, obviously I have a little bit of a bullish bias. I'm not going to take that down here, and I would like to see a breakdown because I think it gives us a little more room to the upside. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, fair enough. Waiting game.
What are you looking for, Nick?
I was looking for, I had the 5-minute break for that trend line here closed outside. And then when that happens, as I explained earlier during the pre-market prep, I'm waiting for a bear flag to form on the 1 minute, and then I take that break. So right now I'm waiting for any sort of bear flag to form, which I do not like when we do have these bottom retests and then pulling back up, which eliminates any sort of bear flag possibility. So for me right now, it's waiting. But I'm looking for shorts currently.
I'm going to attempt a short here if I get filled at the 6,007. So I just set an order limit. I'm going to set my stop to 6,009, which This is a very tight stop that I have on here. I might get possibly stopped out because we're seeing some buying pressure come in, but if I get stopped out, that's absolutely fine because my risk is tight on this. So I'm currently in at 6,007 here on ES. I took 3 contracts here. My stop is 3 points, which we could get the move up. The only thing I don't like is NASDAQ is obviously above its level here, but it's all good.
You're in 3 minis?
Yes. I'm going to move to the 2-minute here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Almost got stopped out on that play. The only thing I don't like is this candle did open above VWAP on the 2-minute. I'm not a huge fan of. So very likely I might get stopped out on this play. Especially that NASDAQ is pushing. But this is kind of what I mean, guys, about, both futures not being completely in sync. Is, if NASDAQ's pushing here, that's not necessarily helping my ES trade and vice versa. Now that we are above this open here, it's it's not the most, it's not the most profitable trade to me. We would have to reject hard here. So NASDAQ, I would want to see below yesterday's close, and then get this flush down to pull ES with it. So again, risk is 3 points. I'm not losing massively on this trade. I'm in an ES, 3 mini contracts. So nothing crazy here, but let's see what we get. So NASDAQ is starting to get some push down here. My first take profit is going to be at this 6,000.
Looking nice now.
See this. Now I do want to see the continuation. I do want to see this continuation down, especially on the NASDAQ. I don't want NASDAQ to get back up above yesterday's close. Right now it's still holding.
What are you looking for in these kind of scenarios, Miriam? Like, do you sometimes close out the trade earlier, or do you just wait for the stop loss to hit? Like, is there any chance you close it out earlier?
So the reason why I wouldn't close it out earlier is because I'm okay with my risk. Right now, 3 points to me, what would that, let's see. 3 points to me is not a massive loss. So if this this closes me out, I'm okay with that, because my risk is, I want at least 5 points out of this. So for me, we are getting the buying pressure come in. I'm probably going to get stopped out here, guys, but it is what it is. It's not a huge loss to me, and I'm okay with that risk. So for me, it's something that, it's not a huge deal if I lose on this trade. So I'm not going to move it.
Fair enough. We're rejecting the daily open, but also not really hard. Like, we touched it. Would be a better phrase for it. That daily open is acting like a magnet today during London session and now US session. For now.
I think this trade would have probably been a little bit more, because the thing is, like, the stop really should be like 60-10. I just, for me, I'm not really willing to like risk a lot on this first trade. If this gives it to me, it gives it to me. If not, then
fair enough.
Whatever. But so I just got stopped out on that. My loss on that was $317, $317.28. So I'm down 317 on this play, but we are getting the buying pressure now coming in. So let's see.
Yeah, also we have finalized, forming the 50-minute opening range. The 50-minute opening range on NASDAQ is going from 21,815 to 21,749. That is the range right now. It's a 65-point range.
Yeah, it seems our chop and our range has just shifted downward a little bit since the open. Again, as I'm looking at my 5-minute on the NQ, we're still bouncing between +1 and -1 standard deviation, and our 5-minute ATR is still below 18. So that's kind of a yellow light for me in terms of, again, chop versus movement. So that's the danger with certain momentum indicators like ATR. If you're somebody who uses RSI or something like that, is that when we get a lot of movement like this, but we don't really go anywhere, it can throw a lot off. So be careful with that.
Yeah, we're seeing a wall of sellers at 800 on the NASDAQ. So might have gotten stopped out here. Now we're going to get the move to the downside, which it is what it is. But next level I'll be probably watching, if we get this rejection, is going to be that 6,000 level on ES. So I want to see 750 and then 6,000 to the downside break. That's where I'll potentially enter our next short. Otherwise, we could just be making higher lows here. But we do have to break this 800 level on the NASDAQ. That's going to be, there's a wall of sellers sitting there.
While nobody's in a trade, why don't we run the first reset giveaway? Because, I mean, obviously, we have hit the 500 likes. We have hit the 12K subscribers. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to do the first reset giveaway. We're going to give away 1 free reset for a growth account and 1 free reset for an advanced account. And it's not going to be that we're going to send the code in the chat and you go on the website and use it. No, we're going to have 2 random people picked by our randomizer, and they will get the code emailed. So the site doesn't crash or anything like that. And nobody has to type like super fast. So it's going to be a keyword. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 winners from the same keyword. So if you want to win a free growth account reset or a free advanced account reset, then type the word pause because of the cats, PAWS. All right. So pause in the chat to win a free reset for growth or advanced right now.
And there goes the chat. Pause, PAWS, guys. PAWS. Like cat pause, dog pause.
Guys. Cat pause. If you've been in the stream earlier, you know cat pause, obviously.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Oh, and I see Brett in the chat too. What's up, Brett?
Nice, easy Monday here, guys. Nice and easy. Ease into the week. Again, for me, like I just don't want to start Monday down like $1,500, right? Like especially a choppy Monday with potential news, you know, coming out literally at any second. In fact, next time, well, you guys are doing the giveaway here, I'm going to get into see what's going on with this meeting. But yeah, I mean, this is, you take your small shots while they're there. But like, you know, I think Mary managed her trade very well. You can't start Monday where there's not a definitive direction. You can't start a day like this down 4 figures. It can ruin your week to do that. So just be really, really careful today, guys.
Yeah,
we're getting back up to the upper range of the 50-minute opening range, and we're starting to we're touching that trend line that I marked here on the 5-minute and 15-minute. So if we break this clean with some sort of a bull flag, I'm gonna take along here, but for now I'm waiting.
So I will say this: I pull up a few different you know, financial news websites, CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all that, just to check headlines. I don't get too much into the articles. It does look like the meeting's still going on. However, I am now 100% convinced that these talks are going to go well, and we're going to be in a strong bull market, because Jim Cramer just put out an opinion piece that he doesn't think they're going to go well. He's very skeptical. So if we're playing fade Cramer right now,
Just short everything, go against everything he says.
Yeah, fade Kramer, exactly right.
We also got 2 winners for the Advanced and Growth account. Matt, do you want to announce them?
Absolutely. So, guys, you can stop the pause in the chat. So
You
for
can pause
our
the pause.
advanced,
Pause.
pause the pause. Our advanced winner is Skibbity Toilet 01. Never thought I'd say those words out loud. So Skibbity Toilet 01, you have won a free advanced reset. And for Vinzen, Vinzen, you have won the growth reset. So congratulations to both of you. If you want to get something in the chat, just put a comment in there and make sure you let us know that you are here. And make sure your email is in your YouTube contact information so we can confirm it is in fact you. And then we will reach out and give you the code for a reset. Slow mode because people didn't realize the thing is over, guys. So we gotta, again, make sure you're live on the stream, guys. Make sure the little red dot is next to live in the bottom left-hand corner of your YouTube screen, and that you are here with us as in real time. Nothing like you know, if you were to take a trade like a minute behind us, that could be kind of
Yeah,
dangerous.
that would not be good.
Yeah, and guys, we're gonna have more giveaways today, so don't worry, you still get the chance to win. And by the way, Mariam, we need to clip Matt saying Skibbity Toilet 01.
Yeah, exactly. We are still rejecting this 60-10 area on ES, which isn't very convincing of the upside here. So I am not really liking this. This is actually a really good example of futures not being in sync. NASDAQ making a nice move to the upside here. ES barely retracing half of its move on its last downside candle. So I still actually like this for a short. I'm not going to take it here, but NASDAQ also very clear resistance at this 820 area. So not able to kind of chop in between like a 10 point, 800 to 810 or 815 area, 800 is where we're chopping on the NASDAQ. Yes, I think if ES gets this, I think if NASDAQ starts to pull back here, ES is going to get a really, really nice move to the downside. I probably should have kept my stop at that 610 level because we just keep rejecting here.
Well, it's always easier in hindsight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we're still waiting for Skibbity Toilet to claim his reset or her reset. I don't want to.
Toilet.
Come on, Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, the things that we're gonna say on the stream, never thought we would.
Country-wise, where are the hosts?
Yeah, where are the hosts from? Go for it, Matt.
I'm from Antarctica, so I'm actually on base right now. The little weather research facility here. It's cold. It's 93 degrees below zero here. So yeah, I'm just hoping the router stays on because that's the only thing keeping us warm at this point. But
oh man,
30 seconds, Skibbity Toilet.
You have 30 seconds.
Mad as a penguin. I love penguins.
Looking for that breakout here.
Might have moved the toilet and forgot to be on the stream.
Yeah, Skibbity Toilet's in the toilet. He'll be back. So we're kind of looks like we're coming right into prior areas of resistance here in the NQ. Whole range between about 810 and 820, and sure enough, we're kind of retracing here. We can't seem to get up to the high so far from this morning. We can't seem to quite get up to the +2 standard deviation. Boy, we're right back in this zone, guys. We right off the open, we decline. We move right back into this zone, and now it's just chop city. That 800 is just strong pinning action in today's session, guys. And again, keep in mind, we talk about support or resistance. We obviously understand the key concepts there, but pinning action is where the price just keeps going back to this area. And then actually, it's a little tough to trade in this environment because, like, when price pins around a VWAP, okay, that's a little easier to trade. We make a big move away from VWAP, we can play mean reverting trades back towards that area, or if there's a key area on the chart, But when we're sitting here above +1 standard deviation, but not quite to +2 standard deviations off of VWAP, and that's where we're pinning to, it makes it very difficult to find entries on things there. So just, again, guys, I cannot emphasize enough, this is a morning to protect your capital, so be very, very careful.
Yeah. Also, Matt, we picked background Nick, let the randomizer pick a new winner because Skibidi did claim. So who's the new winner?
Struggle
Matt,
saying that name.
Yeah, so the new winner here is Cajun Guy. So
Ooh.
they're giving us a lot of fun ones to say this morning.
Yeah, these are fun.
Cajun Guy, I love me a good Cajun gumbo, so hopefully you got a good recipe. Cannot get good gumbo.
I want to see this break to the upside, honestly. I like this consolidation right in front of the upper end of the 15-minute opening range.
Yeah, Cajun Guy, give us... There he is. Cajun Guy has claimed the advanced reset.
Nice. Congratulations. Hey, Bear Boss, that's not nice to say. Stay.
Getting some selling coming in, aggressive selling on ES starting to come in here. See if NASDAQ can actually break 800. There
also, guys, let's get this stream to 600 likes so we can do another giveaway. Hit the like button, smash the like button, do whatever you want with the like button, but make sure that you don't hit the heart in the chat. Instead, close the chat and go and actually hit the thumbs up button right under the video. That is the actual like button we're looking for. We're still stuck around this daily open, guys. I said it before, it's acting like a magnet today. It did the same during the London session. It's doing it right now during the US session. So NASDAQ is literally sitting at plus 0.05% for today.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Our range has also been put in here. So the 30-minute range is actually about to close as well. But this is kind of what we're dealing with on ES. I'm going to put this box around here. So I would be looking at a breakout of this range. If we can get, that's going to be above, I would actually put above 820 on the NASDAQ and then below 750. And then on ES, a little bit of a smaller range. We're going to looking at 6015 all the way down to below 6,000. So we can come down and break these ranges, then I like them for breakouts. Man, that actually would have been a good stop. 6010. See if NASDAQ can also break VWAP here. Selling pressure picking up on both futures.
All right, we're about to cross the 600 like mark, and then we can do another giveaway for 3 resets. We're at 596, 598.
Yeah, don't hit the like button twice because then that just negates your first like.
Yeah.
You only get one like on YouTube, sadly. I'm surprised they haven't monetized that and said you can buy more.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That seems something very much like what Google would do.
Yeah.
Okay, we crossed 600. Miriam, do you want to do the giveaway? 1 free growth reset and 1 free advanced reset?
All right, let's do it. Are we ready?
We are.
All right, the giveaway code is Monday. Monday.
Make sure you like the stream, make sure you subscribe, and you put Monday into the chat in order to be able to win. Let's hit it. There he goes. Well done, chat.
Also, if you guys haven't already, because sometimes this happens on mine, make sure you are clicking the live button on if you're on YouTube watching, make sure you are clicking live and it has a red dot next to it. That means you are seeing the latest of the channel, this episode, and make sure you're not behind, because if you're behind and you don't hear your name and you're winning the giveaway, you might miss it. So make sure you have that red dot next to your live button.
Yep. Oof, market is giving us a hard time today, huh?
A little bit, but I like this range though, guys. I like this range. This is for me, I would be looking for a potential breakout out of this range. NASDAQ again, still the stronger one of the two. ES is struggling a little bit. I would feel a little bit better about taking a long on the NASDAQ if ES can at least get back up above 60.10. That 60.10 area is giving it a little bit of a hard time. So let's see what we get here. Fortunately, got stopped out within a point of this trade because I still believe that it could work out.
For the short?
Yeah, so definitely should have set my stop a little above that 60.10 area. But who knows? I mean, I think that 6,000 level is also going to be a difficult level to break. But I think if we do break it, we'll get a nice flush. That's only congruent on NASDAQ being able to break as well. I think NASDAQ getting back below its VWAP will help ES.
I mean, you can always re-enter, to be fair. I think the way how you placed your stop was very smart, honestly.
Yeah, I think the thing is with ES that I like too is it is a slower mover, but you don't need a lot of points on ES to make some good money. So, even a 3-point stop loss, I mean, as you guys can see, was about 100 points or so, 150 points. But it doesn't take a lot, but it can move really nicely as well. So if you're in even one mini on ES, you're making decent money on a 10-point move.
Very true. Mary, we got the winners here in background. Nick just sent them.
All right, so we're gonna announce our first winner. Are there two, Nick? Looks like there might be two.
There are two. Yeah,
there's two. Okay. First winner is gonna be Rashard Alford. Rashard Alford.
That's for the advanced reset code.
That's
so
right.
So Rashard, make sure that you type something in the chat right now. And everybody typing Monday still, like, you can stop. The giveaway is over for now. We're gonna have more. So stay tuned.
So Rashard Alford, please type in the chat to make sure that you claim your prize. There you go. There he is. Rashard Alford. Congratulations. You just won a free reset.
And then the second one, you want to announce the second one too?
Yes, let's see. I hope. Oh, actually, this might be how you pronounce it. Nasdaqian.
I would
Congratulations. You are also a winner of a reset here. Nasdaqian.
Type something in the chat. And guys, make sure to claim your free reset code. You put your email address into the YouTube channel description so we can actually reach out to you, okay?
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet is here.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You had to claim it, but we're too late.
Nasdaqian is here. Congratulations. You are a winner of one of the resets as well. So make sure that you also, the rule is to type your name in, of course, but also have your email set up as well on your YouTube studio.
Yep. And speaking of Nasdaqian, Nasdaq is trying to break out to the upside here.
Yeah, Nasdaq's been a lot stronger. But look at both ES and Nasdaq. I mean, I feel like they're on completely different pages today.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very rare actually that they're so different.
I haven't seen this in a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Somebody's saying Skibbity went to the toilet.
Can't be taking bathroom breaks during these giveaways. Oof, tough range that we're in here.
Yeah, Kevin, it certainly does look like a range day right now, and a tight range at that. Again, we're 35 minutes into the market open, and again, our 5-minute ATR in the NQ is still below 20, guys. That's very, very remarkable. It just means we're not only we're not really moving, we're not really going anywhere. And you adjust your scale on your charts every day, but I mean, really, this is a chart of what, about a 30 to 40 to 50 point range. There's just not a lot of action right now. And it makes sense, right? With there being a meeting in London between US and China right now, anybody who's taking any kind of weight, like position with weight, like institutions that are trading the minis in the hundreds, if not the thousands, they're not putting anything on right now, guys. You're seeing the algos, you're seeing the HFTs, take over a lot of the action, Miriam, but we're just not seeing the big boys participate right now.
Yeah, I mean, we keep getting, like, I'm looking at book maps, I'm looking at the map here, and it's just this constant battle that we keep getting this aggressive selling, and then it's quickly bought up, and ES, like I said, is the weaker one of the two, and I'm not really having much conviction on either right now, because while I look at the Nasdaq, I'm bullish, right? But then I look at ES and I'm bearish. So two very different sentiments from both futures, and that's the kind of market I don't necessarily like to trade in. Now, if we get a move on either direction, obviously I think it could be a nice move for one or the other. Like I said, if ES gets this move down below 6,000, I think will help push the Nasdaq and vice versa. And I think that's when I'll consider taking a trade. But for me, I don't like seeing both futures not in sync with each other, which is why for me, like I said, these sort of days, if I am to take a trade, it's going to be not a high risk trade. I mean, you guys see the losses that I take are not heavy losses. And that's on purpose, because I know the kind of risk that I'm putting on, because I know too, this can easily be similar to last week, where I started the week red. I think I was red on Monday and Tuesday, ended up making banger trades the rest of the week, and ended the week green. So just one of those days where you don't want to over leverage, you don't want to over promise yourself and think that, the market's going to make some crazy move. And even if it does, just put yourself in a position to win and not necessarily be right. So those are two different things, in my opinion, by the way. You don't always want to try to be right on a trade. You want to make sure that you're, positioned in a way where you're risk adverse.
Yeah, very true. I'm eyeing along here on Nasdaq. I don't like that we're literally at the tippy top, but you know who I am.
Reach your plan. Yeah. If you see something you like, go for it. We're getting a push on Nasdaq.
I'm setting a limit order here on at the 21,816 level. If I get filled, I get filled. If I don't,
got the breakout of the opening range here on the Nasdaq as well. Just don't like where ES is sitting. ES is nowhere near that top breakout. Still not even able to clear 60.10. That's another concern.
Great comment from Mike in the chat. The trader who respects the process will always beat the one who chases the outcome. Can
we put a star around that one? Write that down.
Yeah, that's a great quote there, Mike.
I missed my fill by 1.5 points. You see that?
I like that open on the Nasdaq that we got above the range. ES, just don't like ES. I really don't like ES.
It pulled back, but it missed me by 1.5 points.
All right. Well, again, guys, better to wish you were in a trade than out of a trade.
That's
very true.
Facts.
Very true.
37 is an area of resistance. 837 is an area of resistance. If anyone's long, just letting you guys know, 837, 850, and 863 are areas of resistance on the Nasdaq.
Quick question for you guys, and I'll share my response as well as we're watching this here. How many times early in your futures trading career did you just really fuck up on a Monday and it just wrecked your week? Because that happened to me quite a bit the first about 3 months that I was trading.
Oh yeah.
Just futures, day trading.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, not
Because then
fun.
you're playing catch up all week.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I would still, if we form another bull flag here, I would still take it. By the way, just I mentioned it before it happened.
I just think that the big move, if one comes today, is going to be, you know, right before news comes out. Right, the big boys are going to get that news. So I just don't know that we're going to make any move with conviction until that happens. And again, I don't know. I mean, Nick, it's getting a little later in the day over in London. I would think something's got to be wrapping up in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, I mean, London closes in 15 minutes.
Oh, Motion. I want to address your question now while we're doing this. And guys, cut me off if you get into anything. So Motion asked basically about tracking outside of trading things. You gave some examples there. Well, regardless, I don't think we'll get much into drugs or intimacy or anything like that. I never tracked any of that when I was in my early trading years, but I did track caffeine intake. I don't drink much during the week. But you know, if I have a beer or two overnight or any kind of drink, we go out or something, I will log that. And not as much anymore. But keep track of anything because you don't know where the edge is going to be. So I actually cut down my caffeine intake after about a year of tracking this. We're getting the new highs here. We're getting the previous month's highs coming on deck, previous day's highs on deck as well. If we get above 850, London closes in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, true.
This is the rejection
are you
area.
Seeing some overhead orders there on Bookmap, Miriam?
Yeah, 847, 850 is actually an area of resistance. So what I'm thinking is if we can get above this level on the NASDAQ, then I think we look good for continuation. Otherwise, if we reject this area on the NASDAQ and ES is still clearly below its open, I think we'll get this continued weakness on ES that I will probably be looking at. And so right now it's kind of the moment of truth in my eyes. We would need some strong push on the NASDAQ, which it does look good. It does look good. I just, for me, ES is still in its range. I mean, it's still in its range. Look at the divergences between the two. This is something that we don't see quite often. ES really struggling here, and NASDAQ looks like it just wants to go because the reason I keep reiterating this is so important because for me, when I look at both futures, they share a lot of the common stocks. So if one of them is struggling and the other one's strong, they're going to hold each other back. Because one's going to want to drop and the other one's going to want to keep going. So, it's for me, I would want to see ES really push out of this area. And then NASDAQ will likely be above, previous day high. But for me, I just don't like where ES is sitting right now. We are holding the open as of now, I guess. Well, not the New York open. We're still below that. But for me, it's going to be that key resistance that I'm looking at. Right now, we are flirting with 850. Next resistance zone that I see is 862 to 865. So if you're in a long, I would be taking profits up here as we enter this zone, this 860 zone.
All right. Somebody asked here in the chat, Derif Trader asked where my order was. If I go to my chart, obviously now I deleted it because it doesn't make any sense anymore. But I had the pullback order at 21,816.50 and we pulled back to 21,818. So I got missed by 1.5 points. If you scroll back in the stream, you can see I actually put the order in there when price was at 21,826-ish. So I had it 10 points lower, expected that pullback, but it didn't go that far down. So just wanted to clarify.
Nice.
Also, congrats to Leah. She's in a long. She has her first target at 21,863. Just be aware, Leah. Fuck, now I'm making a mistake again. Anyways, just be aware. 21,850 is the previous month's high, which usually is a strong level. So if your target is 5 points above that, just be mindful of this. And Jackie Legs, where was my first target for that long? I would have had a 30-point target. So 46. That would have hit, actually. Would have, should have, could have. The good old words in trading.
Coming
Shoulda,
into
coulda, woulda.
resistance on the 4 hour as well, guys. I'm not sure how much room this has. I'm going to say that so it'll pop $100 or 100 points for all you guys in the long, because that seems to be the case. Anytime one of us is talking, the market's really moved. But we might have a little more room to the upside. I don't see us making a run towards 21,900 without some sort of news. And again, sometimes that happens and the news is not immediately apparent. The instant these guys come out of the room, they're going to be on their phones texting their buddies of what's going on. And if you think that they're that some of the big money on Wall Street isn't the first calls and texts being made, I've got a bridge in the middle of Indiana to sell you.
Yeah, not quite able to break above this 850 level on the Nasdaq. I mean, we definitely have room on the Nasdaq. I think at least to this zone right here, 860. But then I think the biggest level we're going to be looking at is this 875, which is again that previous day high from Friday. Clear resistance area. We have some sellers now stepping in on that 865 area. So like I said, if you guys are long, I would be taking profits well into this level. Or at least having trailing your stop is going to be what I look at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 900 area is interesting for short, but again, let's say we were to head there now. Let's say we head up, and in the next 2 or 3 5-minute candles we get to 900. Again, am I really going to short at 900 when we've just made a over 100-point run in 4 or 5 candles? I just don't think the risk reward is there. And again, at some point it becomes chasing as well. So I think you guys kind of saw us in the pre-market as we were talking through that we were just maybe looking for a couple specific things and aren't really getting that. If you have a bullish mentality or bearish mentality and things go completely in the opposite direction, the right thing to do is not immediately jump into a trade that's completely opposite of the bias or the thesis that you formed when you were looking at your charts. It's a bridge. How much you want? There's always somebody in the chat that's going to jump in and make me laugh. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, it's just, I'm just, when you're looking at a chart and you're just like, man, I don't know. That's not the time to trade. I mean, you can take some small shots, but gosh, this is, again, if you're blowing out accounts this morning, or if you're taking 4-figure losses on a morning like this, I don't know what to tell you without yelling at you, right? You want to take a shot or two? All right, that's okay. But don't sit here taking big losses on a Monday morning when there's a major trade meeting going on right now in a market that didn't tip its hand at all in the pre-markets. Just be careful, guys.
Absolutely, yeah. We really, yeah. This is an interesting area we're in.
Also, guys, I see Azir, our good old regular here in the chat, asking, where's my growth reset? Dude, I'll give you another chance. If we get to 700 likes, we're going to do another free growth account reset and also another free advanced account reset. So get us to 700 likes right now, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to drop a giveaway keyword here in a second.
Good job there, Leia. Good trade management.
Nice.
Now protect that capital today.
Yep.
$700 likes, guys. We can do this.
Of course. We're Tradeify
We're right
Nation.
there. We are right there.
The Tradeify Nation can do this, of course, within seconds. I know it. And guys, I see likes vanishing sometimes. Don't hit the like button twice. It doesn't do anything.
Or maybe you just said something to piss them off, Nick.
Maybe
that like.
Maybe that too. Sitting at 698, guys.
Active, we've given away a ton of accounts on this. We're switching it up a little bit today.
Yeah.
There's been accounts given out almost every day on this stream, guys.
We hit 700. Let's do the giveaway. We're gonna do another growth account free reset and another advanced account free reset. Matt, do you want to come up with a funny keyword?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Let's do the. Let's do the. Well, we got a big meeting going on in London right now, so let's make it London. London.
Actually, no. Wait. We got word from background Nick. Shit. No, it's
never mind. No, we got to stick with it now. We got to stick with it.
All right. It's gonna be London.
London. Sorry, background Nick.
That one will be the next one.
I don't know if you guys know this. Background Nick has actually run a half marathon just since the show started.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
After the show he's doing another one.
That's something we talked about too. Doing last minute crazy things.
Y'all were talking about talking about half marathons and marathons before, and I'm like, okay, where can I get my fat ass for a burger after the show?
Matt's doing his hot girl walk.
Yeah. Well, it's a hot dog walk. I take my dog for a walk as soon as the show's over. Every day, that's my routine.
Hot dog walk. I like it.
All right,
my dog can mostly walk in a straight line now, so that's good.
We just actually Nasdaq is trying to climb through the previous month high here, sitting at 21,859, 58.50. We're consolidating around it, so let's see what happens. Damn,
Wiz, our affiliate manager, says his running strategy is to start slow, then back off. Mine is to start slow and then stop. So that's how I do it.
But I'm with Stephen Alexander in the chat here. He's saying I run marathons so I can drink and eat garbage. I'm all with you, man. Like I run 3 times a week and I absolutely hate it every single time. But the reason I do it is, 2 reasons. Number 1, I have to beat my friend who ran a really, really good half marathon time without any training. And number 2 is I want to eat shit. I want to eat burgers and stuff. So
you want to
Tony
eat
Smith
shit?
says
I don't know about
start
that.
slow and hail a cab. Yeah,
burgers,
that's it.
Miriam, just burgers. Well, burgers and shit is pretty much equal.
You're the new skibbity toilet over here.
Oh dang, man.
All right, you want to announce the new winners here, Nick?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we got the growth reset, free reset for a growth account here is Cray Hang. Cray Hang, congratulations. Make sure to type something in the chat. And everybody's still typing London. You can stop. The giveaway is done for now, but we're going to give away more. So just stop for now. And then the advanced free reset goes to, oh shit, that's going to be hard to pronounce. Miraj Bagheri, I guess. So MERAJ BAGHERI. All right. So make sure to type something in the chat and put your email into the YouTube channel description so we can actually reach out to you and send you that free reset code.
Yeah, in the chat there. So
nice.
It has been claimed.
The quickest one we ever got.
Yeah, good job, Miraj.
Good job, Miraj.
And then we need Cray still. Cray Hang.
Cray's figuring out how to put his email on the account settings. We got you though, Cray. Take your time, figure it out. You claimed it, so you're good.
Cray responded, actually. We're good?
Yeah, we're all set up.
Claimed. Congratulations, guys. We're going to do more, so stay tuned. Stay tuned.
We might do them
Also,
a lot quicker, guys, so make sure you are watching and attentive.
Also, let's do no, actually, let's not do it because Nick is going to be back in 2 minutes, I just saw. I wanted to do a poll for who's green and red, but we're going to do that in a second too. So when background Nick is back.
He's going to get in a couple of sprints in the middle of the show.
But actually, we have our amazing producer, Drew, just jumping in and says he can do it. So let's get the poll up for, are you guys green currently for today? Are you red or are you still flat? Let's see, I want to hear it. Because usually our chat is green. Let's see it for today. Green 47%, 44%. Ooh, back to 47, 43. Gotta love those polls. Leah is saying she's challenging herself to run a 10K in October. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Leah, the best running strategy for me, and everybody's always making fun of me, is I always do my runs on the treadmill, like all of them. Even when I trained for my marathon and I did like 35-kilometer runs, I did them on the treadmill for like 3-4 hours. And the reason why, here it comes, you can watch Netflix on the treadmill.
Oh my God. Here we go. See, I never could do that. When I was prepping for mine, I had to run outside. First of all, I'm so bored on the treadmill, and I don't like running to begin with, so that was already a challenge. But
me neither.
For me, I'm like, I have to get as close to what I'm actually going to be experiencing on marathon day. And that was, I think, what helped me actually complete my marathon. Because if I would have had to run on the treadmill, I can't do more than like 4 miles on the treadmill. I'm so bored. I'm like, is this over yet?
Just watch Netflix. It's easy game.
I want a heads up the next time we're going to get into this discussion, because I'm just going to bring a sandwich, and I'm just going to eat the sandwich while you guys are talking about running all this. That's
nice. I'm actually eyeing along here, guys, at 21,864.75. Tight stop loss, 16 points.
I like it.
This one, I'm not going to miss it. Nice bull flag. Okay, I'm in.
Up on volume here.
Yeah, I'm in. Setting my target at 25 points.
Very nice. Really need to see ES get above this opening range. 60, 15, 12, 25.
The good thing about bull flags as well is if you lose the trade, you know it very quickly. And if you win the trade, it usually takes a bit more time, but if you're going to lose, you know it quickly. And that's what happens right now. If we pull back to the stop loss, let's see. Then you can call me Top Tick Nick again.
I mean, we'll call you that anyway. You could get 100 points in this trade. We're going to call you that.
We are also, keep in mind the supply zone here. We're very close to not only previous day's high, but the supply zone started at 860 on NASDAQ. ES is also still rejecting its opening range. That's kind of what I'll be looking for a potential long, for us to get above the opening range. But also for NASDAQ, I kind of want to see NASDAQ get above previous day high, which is 874, 875 area. But right now we are rejecting.
I'm stopped out. That's what I meant with I know fast with these setups.
Well, it's good also. I mean, you're trading on the 1 minute, so you see these, you can get out way quicker than someone like me who's in a 2 minute chart.
Very true.
Not gonna lie, guys, I am looking at a short here, potential short.
Yeah, I'm eyeing one up about the 840 level. In fact, I'm going to put in an order. 5 micros is the position, guys. A short order at sell stop at 840. It's at 840.75, but I'll leave it there. Probably have my stop probably about, let's see the action that gets us down there. If it does, probably set my stop at 60 with a profit target down. I'd probably try to ride this down to 800, guys, if it gets back down there.
I like that, 840.
Yeah. Again, I think this is maybe a slightly lower percentage chance of a successful trade than I'm accustomed to, but I like the risk reward. I can keep my stop about 15, 18 handles with a reward about, about 20. I'd probably take a little profit off about 25 to 28, and let's see if the rest can get all the way down to 800. If we make a new high above 870, I'm pulling the order.
Buying pressure stepping in here.
Nick takes a long, and I queue up a short. This is
this is quite the dichotomy.
Or maybe we just chop around.
Well, and that's possible. Okay, we popped up to 870. I'm pulling this order, guys. Order is off.
Oh, I got bottom ticked on the stop loss.
Mondays are just not, they're not the days, guys.
That's a skibidi toilet trade.
That is
I
an
tell
FU
you.
candle, Peril. But
That
again,
really
that's why I
was.
give myself a little extra room on that entry. Because it needed to move down just a little bit, and it didn't. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Bookmap is showing some orders filled, or if I'm going to restart my subscription to that. I think next week once I get the new computer in. Miriam's got me missing Bookmap.
Yeah. I'm still honestly eyeing the short. When I see tails like this, not very convincing for a long. Look at ES, still underneath opening range.
It's chopping. But also we're sitting right around Friday's high. Friday's high was
gosh,
21,880,
okay,
and there goes my TP hit. Fuck.
For YouTube bookmark chairs, yeah, I know there are Jade out. I prefer to have it on the screen and I can adjust it as need be. I mean, it's what the highest tier of that is like $99 a month. That's not that bad. Plus whatever add-ons you have, and you need a data feed. But yeah, that's not cost prohibitive. If it were $500-600 maybe, and there are indicators that are that much per month. But no, it's a fairly, and especially because it's a fully functioning platform. It's not the most. It's like Sierra Chart. It's not the most user friendly by any stretch. But once you learn it, you learn it. So
yeah. Also, I just wanted to break down this trade really quick, guys. The reason why I took it and what happened exactly. So on the 1 minute chart, the first trade I would have taken was this breakout of the 50-minute opening range plus bull flag. I missed my entry by 1.5 points. I had a limit order at 816.50. We went up, we consolidated around the previous month's high level, and then formed another bull flag. I took an entry upon the 1 minute candle break of that bull flag, which was right here. Had my entry at 21,865, which was right around here. Then we pulled back, and usually I have my stop loss at like -1 point from the bottom of the bull flag, which was sitting at 21,851. So my stop loss was at I think 21,850-ish, 49.50, something like that. I got stopped out at 49.25, right? So we literally almost bottom ticked, and now was the move that I actually was looking for, because I was going for 25 points, which 25 points was pretty much the 90. The 90 level here, and it would have hit. So if you didn't get stopped out because you had a wider stop, congratulations, but that was the reasoning for that trade right here.
You know what really happened there, Nick? The market maker said fuck you in particular.
Yeah, true. They were like, oh yeah, you think you can just unplug your mic during a stream? Fuck you, man.
We'll show you.
Yeah. Well, I say that because we talked on Friday, Nick. I know you probably heard parts of this where somebody was asking about, worrying about market makers and all that. And I just say the market makers, they don't give a shit about our 1 or 2 contracts or 3 or 5 contracts. I said everybody in this stream can pull together their entire net worth, multiply it by 3, and go all in on a position. And the market makers still aren't going to give a shit about our position size. So don't take it personally. So it looks like there's a couple of headlines. It says U.S. President Trump lets Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, levy tech sale controls in China talks, and now Nvidia is running the highs. So Nvidia is a big one when it comes to the Chinese talks. They buy a ton of chips and cards from Nvidia for the stuff that they're doing. So obviously there's optimism that there's going to be some sort of deal done, or at least there's optimism of something.
Yeah.
Actually, while we wait, we should kick off the next giveaway here if we get to 750 likes, guys. So if we get to 750, we're going to do another one with free reset codes for growth and advanced accounts.
I like it.
It would have literally hit my TP by 2 points and then It reversed again. For now.
I am eyeing a potential long. If we get to this level on the NASDAQ, I'm looking at 860 area, 862. So that is something I'm looking at, but I don't want to enter here. You know, we got some room to the upside to fill the rest of this supply zone, but I do want to see a little bit, at least a little bit of a pullback to this level. So that's going to be something that I'll look at if we get there. Nar says more cat pics. That's awesome.
Well, I have more cat pics. I mean, I could literally fill an entire stream with cat pics.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole cat pic YouTube channel somewhere. probably a few thousand of them.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
So here you go. The headline.
All right, guys.
Headline: Trump gives U.S. negotiators room to lift export controls on China. So that's coming out from the Wall Street Journal.
All right. I just got word. We actually are going to do 3 growth account resets and 3 advanced account resets for that next giveaway. And by the way, anybody complaining in the chat that we said 500 likes for 15 free resets, that's not what we said. We said 500 likes to start the giveaways, and we're going to have 15 free resets of each for the day. Remember that. But we're going to do the next one when we hit 750 likes, so smash the like button right now. And we're going to give you 3 growth resets and 3 advanced resets. Are you still eyeing along here, Mariam?
I am, yeah. I would have a really nice stop actually, so I would be comfortable taking it. Actually, I'm looking to enter somewhat soon. My stop would be about 20 points on this trade.
All right.
I think I just missed my entry there, but my entry would have been, well, no, I didn't miss it. I want to get a little bit lower at like 66 area. Let me set a order here. So I set it on the MNQ. I'll open my MNQ here so you guys can see. So I'm looking to buy around this area here at 866 with a stop below this 846 area. This is one of those where I'll potentially, since I already have my limit orders in, I will potentially look at, if we just get like a clean slice through, I might consider moving my stop, but we'll see. Let's see if it fills. So I just got filled on that.
I heard it.
Yeah, I'm completely in this trade right now. So my stop is in. Let's see if we get the push up here. I'm in 10 micros, guys.
10 micros. Let's see it.
Well, I am long currently. I am targeting this 892 area. So that's going to be a nice, less than 30 points, but let's see if we get the push here. So I'm going to set a limit order for about half. Actually,
At 92?
I'm going to set it a little before at like 91.
Fair.
There we go. Limit order is set.
It's looking nice.
So on this, I might actually put my break even a little bit. I'm gonna wait and see how this candle forms, but I could even move it a little bit higher to like the 852 area.
Also, guys, 15 more likes for 3 free resets on the growth accounts and 3 free resets on the advanced accounts. Smash the like button.
You know what? I'm just gonna leave it. It pans out, it pans out.
Mariam, Mimi Saya is asking, why 10 micros if you're not scaling out of the position?
I am scaling out of the position.
She
So
didn't listen.
I'm selling 5 here at the 891. And then I'm going to be selling probably 2 more if we break this 900. And then I'll keep the runners.
Fair.
I think if we break the previous candle high up there at about 81, 82, I think you're looking really good on this trade.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, if this holds, I got a really good entry here at this bottom tick. So let's see.
You bottom ticked it for your game.
I bottom ticked it to go long. Yeah.
Oh man. Click is asking if I have checked GC movement on London sessions. No, I have not. I only trade Nasdaq. 740 likes, guys. We need 750. Come on. We're gonna give you 3 free resets on the growth accounts and 3 free resets on the advanced accounts. Jorge is asking, Mariam, could you walk us through why you decide to go in along?
Yeah, so I like the strength on the NASDAQ. So right here I have MNQ so I can show you guys my position. And I have NASDAQ here with all my lines and entries here. You can see here, wow, you know, we held a really nice, we've been in a nice uptrend, right? That's number one, right? We're in an uptrend. Yes, we are in the supply zone. It's not like my favorite thing, but we are getting a nice strong push. So for me, this zone right here is going to be 848 that we absolutely need to hold, 850 area, which is why I set my stop at this 846. Now, the reason I'm looking for this is because you can see it's a really nice zone, right? We have this nice push, small consolidation, nice green candle, small consolidation, then a nice push above it. So for me, I want to see that we're actually we have conviction above this 850 area, which is also you know, it's a level that is 850 for me is like a psychological level. So if we can hold this level, that would at least put us above this 9 EMA, which is this orange little line right here. And then it would also, you know, be something that we can see a nice strong push from. So right now we are probably we're just getting some consolidation. The other reason why I entered this at this level specifically, if I zoom in, well, you can see it on the MNQ right here, but this top wick, this last top wick that we got, not only is it half the body of this candle, but it is an area that, you know, this is a nice area for me to enter. So I'm looking at the halfway bottom of this candle right here on the 5-minute. And then I also see that we topped it at this candle right here. So right now it's forming a support zone, which is why I liked that entry. Again, my stop on this is less than 20 points. So I'm eyeing, you know, hopefully more than 20 points on this, but this is kind of the reasoning for this entry. Again, trend, we're in an uptrend and we're getting this selling pressure right now. So let's see if we can actually hold this 850. We wicked right to 850. So this is the area that I want to see bulls hold. If we can hold this level, I think we have a nice strong push to the upside.
All right, thanks for breaking that down. Also, guys, we cracked 750. So we're gonna do a quick giveaway here. Actually, the biggest one for today so far. We're gonna give away 3 free growth resets and 3 free advanced resets. All right. It's gonna be one keyword. Make sure to like the stream right now. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and use the keyword, because I got wicked out. Nick Wick. All in one word. All right. Go for it. Only type it once. It's not going to do anything if you type it more than once.
Just about stopped out on that trade. So we're not able to get that conviction, guys. I don't like that bulls were, I mean, we honestly might have just wicked me out of this and completely will reverse. I just didn't want to risk more than 20 points on this trade, especially that, you know, we're here at the top. So I'm going to cancel this sell order here. Just got stopped out on that. Right now, absolute line in the sand for me would be this 839 area on the NASDAQ. So we could try to hold this, might have just wicked into this area and now holding. Otherwise, we'll be selling here. This is something that when I look at ES, for example, ES not able to fully hold above its opening range. So we're just, this is one of those days where you don't want to size up too much. You don't want to be positioned into a trade that could easily go against you, especially like how we just did right now. So I am down on the day. So one of my rules too is when I take 2 losses in a row, I'm completely done. So I'm down for today, and I'm not going to be taking any more trades. This is my max positions that if I lose 2 in a row, I'm just done. I don't care if the market turns around and does exactly what I needed it to do on both those trades. This is my rule for myself, and it's what's helped me stay consistent in my trading and not overtrade, and not just like get too pissed off, right? Because the more I just keep looking at something that either wicked me out or I had the right idea, that's something that's really going to mess you up as a trader. So you want to look at a trade and say, all right, what was my risk on this? Why did I get into this? Was this something that I would take day in and day out? And I can say with confidence that these 2 trades that I took a loss on easily would take another day. Now my risk might be different, my entries might be a little different, but it's the same idea and the same strategy, and that to me is a winner all around. So for me to completely like be okay with today, I just have to be completely done. Again, have your rules for yourself, and once you set that, that's something that's going to keep you consistent in trading. Because like I said, I've had days where I started the week and I'm red, but because I'm still in the game, because I still have my capital, I'm still able to now trade the rest of the week. So that's something you got to make sure that you're positioned for. You don't want to be like blowing your account and like revenge trading and now being like, oh, I had the right idea and now I just got to get back in. This could easily run up and make new highs right now. Am I going to get into it? No, I'm not, because I took my 2 losses and that's all that's going to be. So just make sure you guys are aware of that. Make sure you're aware of your own control and your emotions on trades. So for me, unfortunately, I got stopped out, and that's absolutely fine, but we're here, and I think we got another giveaway to announce.
Yep, I think that's great timing. We don't have the winners yet, and we're still going to get them from the randomizer, but we will announce them shortly. 3 growth account resets and 3 advanced account resets.
All right, we're picking those winners now. All right, you want to announce it?
You can go for it, Merritt.
Okay, the first winner is No Name. No Name is the first winner of the advanced reset account. No Name, are you in the chat?
Yeah, and everybody's still typing Nick Wick. Stop. The giveaway is over for now. Doesn't do anything.
These names are out of control.
Yeah. No Name. Type
No
something.
Name. There you go.
Hey, there we go.
Congratulations. You just won an advanced reset account. All right. We have 2 more winners of this advanced reset account. Second winner is Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz. Munoz? Munoz.
Munoz.
Yeah.
Congrats, Pedro. Type something in the chat.
Pedro, there you are. He said, hey, I won. Congratulations. Nice. You also won an advanced reset account. All right. And then lastly, for the advanced account, it's going to be Life in Sarasota, Florida. Life in Sarasota, Florida. You have won an advanced account. Please type in the chat so we know that you are here.
Let's see. That's a complicated or a long name, I should say.
There you are. Life in Sarasota, Florida. Nice. I'm assuming that's where you're from. Congratulations. You have won an advanced reset account. We have 3 more winners, though, for a growth account. So, Matt, you want to announce those?
Yeah. So for the growth account.
Growth reset, not accounts.
Yeah, resets. Growth account.
Reset.
Correct. Yes. So our 3 winners, first of all, Leslie, 87. So Leslie 87, you'll want a growth account reset. Also, our loyal viewer has won a growth reset. I know you're green today, Leia, so hopefully you can use that in another account.
Leia won. Let's go.
And our last is Rajan Neopane. I apologize if my Western tongue is butchering that. But you three have won. Make sure you guys type in the chat.
Congrats, guys. PMPFX said, I heard Pedro, I almost spilled my food. Then I realized it's not my YouTube name. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. But we see you here.
That's a party foul. Don't spill your food.
We see you. Leia, you got to type something in the chat. Also, Rajan, you got to type something in the chat.
Oh, there's No Name. We see No Name too. Yeah.
Yep. Guys, if you want to claim your win, type something in the chat and then change or like add your email address that you use for Tradeify. Add that to your YouTube channel description. Okay. That's how we can actually email you and send you the code for the free reset. Leia, are you there? You still need to claim. If you're not there, oh, there she is. Yeah, you won. She's like, what? I won something? Yeah, you won a free growth reset.
Should I lower the volume for 2 seconds?
Yeah, that's it, guys. Like, don't lower your volume. Don't leave. You gotta be here. We got amazing stuff to give away. Almost every stream we have giveaways.
Hey guys, I'm queuing up along here at 65. I got a buy stop in at 21,865 for 8 micros.
All right.
I'm just gonna if we get above there, I'm just gonna play for a quick run towards high a day. Maybe get out about 890 with this. Probably about I'd probably do about an 18-point stop. My stop probably be about 47 if that gets filled. Hey, Leia, watch that language here. Some people don't like it when you swear. Damn it. I'm
says
kidding,
the
of course.
man who says ding
I'm
ding,
kidding, of
motherfucker.
course.
Are you in the trade, Matt?
I am not in the trade. No. I'm not in the trade. My buy stop is for 865.
Got it.
If we go down below 40 again, I will pull that order.
Got it.
Yeah, we are kind of flirting with this area that I talked to you guys about on NASDAQ. You know, this 850 is the line in the sand. The thing about NASDAQ that gets a little tough is, you know, you can have your stops, but that's why you got to give it a little bit more room, because sometimes we wick, right? We have these annoying wicks that just like completely wick us out, and then they end up making the move. Now, in a lot of cases, obviously, this is why your stop is helpful, because in the case that we're getting now, where we're getting some selling volume coming in, you know, you don't want to be in the trade that is going to go against you. So it's just, you know, the nuances of trading NASDAQ. You got to have some stomach for a trade to, you know, potentially go south.
Pulling the order, guys. Pulling that order.
Yeah. That's
yeah, that makes sense.
Not looking good for the bulls here. Yes, still struggling.
Well, you know, again, and this is why I think one of the reasons I do actually enjoy trading the NQ, despite the fact that it's, you know, it is what it is, right? Is that it does give you a little room to get into trades, right? Like you've seen, I've set up 2 trades. I haven't gotten into either, but I'd rather take that extra 5 points of confirmation, right? Wait an extra 5 points to get into the trade. And you know, maybe I shave a little off my initial profit target, but I give myself that room for a little extra confirmation. If I just jumped in at 850 or 855, well, I'm staring at a 20 handle loss down at this point, right? So it's more important. I always use the example, if an experienced trader and an inexperienced trader are both looking at 100-point move in the NQ, the inexperienced trader says, oh, I'm going to get in at let's say 21,901 and ride that up to 21,999, right? Whereas an experienced trader is going to say, okay, catching 99 of 100 points on a move is not going to happen. I'm going to give it that extra 10 to 15 points to confirm. Then I'm going to get in, and at 30, 40 points, I'm going to start scaling out of that trade. You don't want to be the you don't want to be the first person at the dance. You don't want to be the last person at the dance, right? You want to be fashionably late and leave right when everyone starts to miss you. So that's That's how we approach our trading as well. So we're coming into +1 standard deviation here, not ruling out resetting a potential long at some point. But if we break below 830, that tells me the bears just have control for now. And again, guys, I'm really hesitant to take a short here, and why I was setting up a long, simply because the initial little bit of news that seems to be filtering out via the Wall Street Journal is that, you know, Trump's letting his negotiating team do their thing, and at least right now, knock on wood, he's not negotiating through Twitter or social media and undermining his people live like he did with his poor trade representative a weeks ago. So, you know, as long as he's letting the team he sent in do their work, and there seems to be at least a few signs of optimism, I'm not going to get short in a trade here and risk a huge. I mean, you know, we set our stops, of course, but let's say I were to get short here at 830, set a stop at 850, and you know, we set usually stop market order. You get a huge can, like Trump comes out to China. I know where your stop is set. You're going to get filled 10 handles higher, and all of a sudden, what, you know, a $400 to $500 to $600 loss that you were, you know, is perfectly fine within my trading plan, becomes a $1,500, $1,800 loss. And now again, on a Monday with a lot of economic news this week, you're digging out until Wednesday or Thursday, and there's nothing more frustrating than that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Also, I want to do another giveaway, guys. But let's get it to 800 likes first, all right? So smash the like button right now. Get us to 800 likes, and we're going to do 5 growth account resets and 5 advanced account resets this time, all right? This is getting bigger and bigger. That's why you got to stay on the stream for longer, so you get the better giveaway chances. Make sure to smash the like button right now, and we're going to do a giveaway shortly.
I love it.
You had a good stop, Mariam. You didn't get bottom ticked. Imagine first I get bottom ticked and then you get bottom ticked. It's like, ugh.
That would be rough. That would be a little rough.
That would be rough indeed. Very, very true.
Yeah, it's we're definitely flirting with this 850 area. On the NASDAQ, yes, like I said, we're what it looks like we're forming is a bear flag on ES. So if ES can start getting pulled down, I think NASDAQ has a shot at that, but we're just kind of chopping around here, guys. There's really not much to look at. I mean, if you already took a trade, if you took that long on NASDAQ, that was a nice little setup there, but not doing much that kind of speaks to me at the moment.
Nope. Same for me. That's why we do giveaways.
Yeah, there you go.
At least we get some excitement.
Yeah,
well, but exactly. they always get our wisdom, guys. That's shouldn't that be true. Enough?
That's
exactly.
Oh, y'all are here for the giveaways. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We appreciate you being here regardless.
You can be here for both. You can be here for the wisdom and live trading and the giveaways. That's all fine, you know. So make sure to like the stream right now, and we're going to do another giveaway for 5 free growth resets and 5 free advanced resets once we reach 800 likes. All right.
Let's do it. Also, did we just cross into 12,000 subscribers?
We did an hour ago.
Let's go.
That's why we started.
Clearly, I don't know where I've been.
That's why we started the giveaways, Mariam.
I love it. I thought we were just trying to get the likes in.
Now likes and subscriptions. So
well, if you haven't subscribed already, this is your go to subscribe.
Listen to Matcha Mommy.
Getting some buying pressure stepping in here on futures.
Tony Montana saying TTV is growing fast. You bet
Very
it is.
Fast.
Thanks to you guys. Like, we couldn't grow without you. But guess what? If we grow, I know for a fact Brett gets that itch to be very generous and give away a lot of stuff, you know? So the faster we grow, the faster we give away stuff. And also the bigger guests we're going to have on. So that is also extremely valuable to everybody.
And we appreciate you guys like spreading word of mouth on this show, right? Like I know we put it out on social media. We have, you know, there's a banner on the website and all that, but we could be out there promoting or doing whatever we do. There's nothing that means more than you telling somebody, hey, why don't you check these guys out? They're helping me. They're not forcing trades just for the sake of trading. They're here and they're helping us out. So why don't you go give them a watch? So we know some of you guys can only be around here for 30 to 60 minutes a day to watch. We really appreciate you. We know some of you guys are here the whole stream. We really appreciate you as well. But yeah, word of mouth means so much, guys. So if you're part of a you know, an independent trading Discord, or you know, whatever you're doing, and you could just even tell a couple people, hey, check out Tradeify TV. We really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Just refreshing my YouTube here. We're at 797 likes. 3 more for 10 free resets.
Yeah, Chiru K, been with us since day one. We appreciate that, sir, or ma'am. I'm sorry, I don't know connotation on that particular name.
All right, I think we got it. Refreshing again. We should. 801. There we go. All right, let's do another giveaway. Matt, do you want to host it?
Sure. Why the hell not? We've got our name there in the chat. So guys, we are the code word is Tradeify. 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 Put that in there, and we're giving away some codes here.
5.
FX said he even told his auntie about the show. We appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing 5 growth resets and 5 advanced account resets. All right.
In any sort of tight family unit, we know the aunties drive the conversation. So we appreciate you telling your auntie about this.
Oh yeah.
NASDAQ is working its way back up.
Yep.
We rejected that 830 level. Very clean. What is there at that 830 level?
830.
830. 21,830. Not time, price.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not a big move yet, so.
Such an interesting price action we're getting here.
Well, it is interesting because if you look at the candlesticks, and this is one of the reasons I still always always come back to the candlesticks, whatever other indicators or systems I'm using, I always circle back to this, is that when you look at the various wicks all over the place, right? Like for those of you that may be on, let me pull up my drawing tools here. You know, I know we were trending up, we're trending down, but when you have this many wicks in multiple directions, it's very difficult to trade, right? I mean, this is I know we're trending up in general, we're bouncing off the +1 standard deviation, but it's still a market that's going to whip you out of a lot of trades if your entries are sloppy. So I mean, it is what it is. It's you don't want to chase, you don't want to rush into anything. I would love to get back below 835. I think there's a really nice technical short on deck below that level. So I would love to see us move back down there. That's probably something I'll be eyeing up for the last 26 minutes we're on the stream here. Actually, let me put just an alert in here at 840. This is not a trade set anything, guys. This is just an alert. So my I will, if we're talking about something else, I will see this at 840 because I will probably set something up between 830 and 835.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, we're going to pick the winners shortly. Still have a chance.
So from the let's see, FBN, I don't know, it must be Fox Business. Treasury official says there is no set end time for talks between the U.S. and China over trade. The U.S. delegation wants them to unfold organically to allow substantive talks. So that's, again, this may be a multi-day thing going on. Oh, great. Let's have this hanging over our heads all fucking week.
All right, we got the winners here. Who wants to announce, guys?
Ooh, we got quite a few winners, huh?
We do.
All right. I will do the first 5, and then someone else can take over from there.
Yeah, you do the advanced reset account, reset growth, dude. I can't
With actually,
the advanced reset codes, and I do the growth reset codes. All right.
Can we maybe clip that list and put it as a image on there? I just think we'll read them still, but I think that might be easier for people to know if they won or not. So to our bot. Okay.
That makes sense. I'm gonna put them in the chat here.
All right. So first winner is gonna be USA. USA.
USA.
I've seen you in chat before, and we've talked a few times, so I know you're in here. USA.
Yeah, there, don't you know? Must be a good Minnesotan up there.
Hey, there she is. Guys, you can stop typing Tradeify. It doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah,
are you a Youper, USA? You a Youper up there? Up in Escanaba? Maybe you're up in Escanaba? Oh, my Michigan beats know where I'm at.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna go through these a little bit more quickly. So, next winner is Nav. Nav. This is an advanced reset account. Nav. NAV.
Yep.
You are in the chat. Go ahead and type. Nav. I'm gonna go to the next person. Nav, if you're in here, go ahead and type in the chat. Otherwise, next winner is
he's in here. He's in here.
Gotcha. All right, congratulations, Nav. You won an advanced reset account. Next winner is Bosna Sevda. Bosna Sevda. Are you in the chat? Please type. Let us know that you are here so you can claim your prize. All right, we have 2 more winners while we wait for Bosna. Thet Tant. Thet Tant. You are the other winner, 4th winner of the advanced reset account. Bosna, I see you. Congratulations. And then lastly, we have Umjan.
There we go.
We got Thet right there. We need
and
one last one.
You can also see the winners pinned to the top of the chat, guys. That is for advanced. Now, for growth account resets, we're gonna have first one, A Gem. A Gem is the first winner for a growth reset. Second winner for a growth reset is JP. Third winner for the growth reset is Z, just a Z-E-E. Fourth winner for a growth reset is CAD, so CATHCAD. And the 5th winner for the growth reset is Beats by Design. Congratulations, guys.
Nice.
Make sure to type something in the chat right now and add your emails to the YouTube channel description so we can find them and actually email you the code. All right. You can also see the winners pinned to the top of the chat here.
Congratulations, everyone.
And we're going to have more resets for you guys today. Can't stop us. But we need more likes on the stream as well. Like, we're gonna do them at 850, all right? Let's do that. 850 likes, and we're gonna do more giveaways.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was gonna say might as well make it 900, but you know.
Oh, mine's make it 900 USA.
That's all I'm saying. Eh?
Yeah, don't you know?
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
I don't know. At some point, Miriam, I need you to break out that Southern accent on stream.
You know what, Matt? It might be a little too early for that.
Yeah, some of them aren't awake yet. I'll tell you what.
All right, Nasdaq is still stuck in that zone there, chopping around the previous month high. That is where we're at.
Yeah, see, this is kind of where we start to look a little bit closely, because right now, previous day high, or at least Friday's high, was sitting at this 874 level, which, on the 5 minute, we tried to hold above. We did a look above, but then we failed. So right now, I would want to see us actually break through yesterday's or previous day high, because then we have room to the top of this seller's area. If you can switch to my chart real quick, Drew, so I can show everyone. But right now, we're, like I said, yesterday's or previous day high is sitting at this 875. We just rejected it. Right now we are trying to recover it, but we really still have this room up through 935, right? 935, where did that area come from? If I go to the 1 hour chart, you can see all the way back to Thursday, which wasn't that long ago. We made that high on Thursday. So we're still kind of stuck in this zone right now. So if we can cross through previous day high, which is Friday's high right here, and then actually break above the high of day, which is 890, then we'll reach this 900 zone, and then we can finally try to get up to this 936. If we break above 936, we have room to 22,000. Okay, so we're still trying. We're still really trying, but this is kind of the area that we might be chopping in between until we get this economic data come in. First set of data comes in on Wednesday. Now we do have the talks going on with China today, so that could obviously be a market mover as well. But just be careful, guys. This is something we want to be mindful of as well.
All right.
Anything you guys are looking at in particular that's different from kind of what I see?
I'm looking at the chat right now. So
yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to grab a long at about 870 or hope for a pullback. I want to trade just for the sake of trading here, so I got to be careful. We seem to be really hovering around this 865 level. I don't want to get caught in a false breakout.
Getting some buying coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wall sitting here right where we're at 6560 area on the NASDAQ.
Okay, so I'm going to put a buy stop in for 8 micros at 870. We're going to try. Eventually, I'm going to get into a goddamn trade. But and now, of course, literally, I set the order and it's going to pull back. Probably my no-go would be about 845 on this. I just think if we break above 870, I'd probably take most off at about 890. That's usually a little tight for me, but I think if we get above 870, especially if we punch above 875, we're probably gonna try for 2190. Excuse me, 21,900. So naturally, it's going to give me like an engulfing.
Of course, it had to. It had to. But you're not in yet, right?
I am not in, correct. 845 would be my no-go zone. So break below 845, and I'm going to pull that order. But in the meantime, I'll be careful. That's why it's a smaller position size. Yeah, just 8 micros. I feel, because I do feel confident if we get above that level, we can make a nice 20 to 25 point run up. So I want to be a little heavier than 5 micros, but I don't want to be as high as 10 or 12 or 15, just because again, I think there's more upside risk for shorts than there is downside risk for longs, if that makes sense. Just because again, if we're going to do anything, if we're going to get a huge run at some point, it most likely is to the upside on some sort of manipulated news with, again, when these guys walk out of the room, they're going to make statements. We're going to see what happens. I think it sounds like, based on what we're seeing, if they're not in a hurry, it'll probably be much ado about nothing. So it probably won't be anything negative, but it may have a positive. So there's a nice, now we broke. Okay, I got my alert there. So we broke 845. So for the third time, I got to pull this fucking order. Good Lord. Oh,
Well, you better didn't get filled on that, to be fair.
yeah, I guess so. Just
Yeah,
frustrating.
lower highs being made as well, so
Mhm.
not the most convincing for a long, in my opinion. But yeah, I liked what you said though. If we did get above that 70 area, then it would have been nice. But
Yeah.
so
I
far,
think at that point it would have had, if at some point today, guys, we get above 870, 875, I think we're going to go try 900. I think we'll make a new intraday high. We got to get there, right? So,
Yep. Also, guys, can I please throw some free resets at you? We just need 850 likes.
please.
Just
I like how you
41
asked
more, and we're gonna
nicely.
give away 10 more. 10 more. So 5 growth account resets and 5 advanced account resets.
why stop there? Let's get 1,000 likes for 1,000 I'm kidding.
850 likes on the stream right now, guys. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, not just the heart in the chat, all right?
Or you could just hit both.
Edwin67 is saying breaking news from London. What are the breaking news, Edwin?
I haven't seen anything on the news feed.
Are we missing something?
Markets aren't moving like it's breaking news.
Definitely not. I love, yeah. I'm just reading the chat. Ignore me.
Why are you laughing, Mary?
Oh no, because I'm just reading the chat. Ignore me.
Hey guys, by the way, in the chat, any questions on like account rules or anything like that, we highly encourage you to check out the FAQ at tradeify.co. They've done a really, really good job of putting together a pretty straightforward frequently asked questions and rules page. And if there's something you're still not sure about, please join the free Tradeify Discord and ask a question there. So. Mo, so the news source I mentioned earlier, I use a company called the Trade Exchange. So just Google the Trade Exchange news. Again, I do not have an affiliate or business relationship with them at all, other than being a paying customer. So they run, I think their low end feed runs 40. I have those $70 a month one. There's plenty of free Twitter feeds and curated stuff. I just like the way this is put together, so it's worth that for me. If I was on a little tighter budget, maybe I would just use like a curated Twitter feed. But there's a lot of low cost sources out there. I just think if you're going to spend a little money, this is the best one, unless you want to spend thousands for a Bloomberg terminal or something like that. But they're pretty fast. They don't lag very far behind the big boys. So it's a very good value for me.
Yeah, lots of free resources out there.
Like this wonderful show.
Mm-hmm.
True.
All we ask is you drop us an occasional like and participate in the chat. Another good chat today, guys.
Yeah, I love the Tradeify TV chat. Like, honestly, these people are next level. It's so funny.
And like us, they're just a little bit crazy, which is what we love about them.
Yeah, we love that. You kind of have to be as a trader, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've got to have a little bit of a screw loose to be a trader. I mean, you really do. Like because it flies against conventional wisdom that you can make the money that you can make in this when you're going to hear people on social media, Twitter, people selling courses and all that, like, oh, I work an hour a day, I make 5,000. Okay, and I'm not saying they're right or wrong, because there are people that make a lot of money in a short amount of time. What they don't talk about, or what some do, what good teachers will talk about, what a lot of our guests will have talked about, and what we've talked about, is the work that goes into that. Right. I mean, you sat on the stream and watched, Miriam especially make, a good amount of money on a single trade. But again, she's been doing this for many years. She's gone through all of us have gone through the growing pains and the ups and downs. So, it's just, yes. Can you make $5,000 in a couple hours work per day on average? Sure. But there's years of work that go into that to get you to that point.
Guys, NASDAQ is falling, by the way.
Let's see. We might be testing this opening range as well. Opening range starts at 820. Also have this top trend line that we have some confluence with as well. So
actually, opening range starts at 814, just to clarify. Depends what opening range, the 15-minute opening range.
Right. Which we are holding. We're holding. Yes, also holding VWAP on the 5-minute. Just kind of choppy though. We're just like not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Are we close to 850 likes yet? Can we do another giveaway? We're sitting at 820. Come on, guys, 30 more. Hit the like button, or I should say smash the like button, so we can actually throw some free account resets your way.
Love that attitude, Leia. I believe you. You're going to do it. Few months, Leia's going to hit, she's going to hit $1 million. She's going to take us all out for steaks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
We're holding it to you, Leia.
So mad about that bridge. Yeah, I'll email you the description. So it's low price, $5 million. It's really affordable.
Easy.
I love it when somebody's got a good callback to a joke from like an hour ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leia, once you hit your goal, we are gonna feature you on that channel for sure. We're gonna interview you and do a little success interview with you.
If she can make $1 million on that by the end of the year, I'm going to work for her. You can interview her all you want.
That sounds a hell of a lot like Wolf of Wall Street, man. You make $1 million.
All right,
I'm
getting
gonna
the
quit my
selling,
job right now.
selling coming in here. See if VWAP holds on the NASDAQ. I think ES, if NASDAQ breaks VWAP, I think ES has room down to previous, or I'm sorry, to today's low. So let's see. We're only 6 points away.
Yep, we're right at that opening range. I would love for it to hold, honestly, and then eye some longs.
That's also a good option. Holding this opening range so far.
Didn't quite touch it though.
I have mine set at this 820. So we just wicked right to it. Such a lame day today, in my opinion.
Well, there were two clean setups. One that I missed my entry on because price didn't retrace enough, and then the other one I took, but I got stopped out because of 2 points, and then it would have hit TP after. So not a bad day. I just wasn't a part of the moves, but I called them out. I set them up. I entered them, like one of them. It's not a bad Monday, honestly. Even though I'm red, it's like I'm still happy with my trading because sticking to the setup, sticking to the rules, like I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is like, it doesn't have to be a bad day because you lost money. Is it, it's a bad day if you just flailed around and completely lost control of your own trading. That's a bad day in my opinion.
Any day you stick to your plan is a good day.
Yep. Guys, I really want to give you some more resets, but you got to get us to 850 likes. So hit the like button right now, and we're going to do another 5 resets for growth accounts and 5 resets for advanced accounts, all for free. Just got to hit the like button right now. It's going to be easy.
If you get to 1,000 likes, Nick will sing the rock ballad of your choice.
What? Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, no, we talked about that in the meeting on Friday. You weren't there, Nick.
Sorry.
Any day we hit 1,000 likes, you have to sing the song of Miriam's choice.
Got it. And if we hit 2,000 likes,
I think we're gonna start with Cotton Eye Joe.
Nick's like, what? What is that?
Yeah, like I'm glad I wasn't there on Friday.
Yeah. Oh no, you volunteered for a lot that day. You just weren't there.
Yeah.
If we hit 2,000 likes, you got to shave your head, Matt.
I bet. If we hit 5,000, you shave yours.
Ooh.
If we hit 10,000, Mary Matt will shave hers.
Don't bring me into this.
No, we won't make her actually shave her head. But if we ever hit like 10,000 likes, she has to do one show in a bald cap.
I could do that.
Yeah. You're out in California. You can walk outside and throw a hand at pennies and hit 5 makeup artists. So you can have somebody that can put your hair under a ball cap for a day.
Also, I see this question for like the 5th or 6th time already. Somebody saying the real Tony Smith saying 500 watching and 830 likes. Where are the bots? Well, the likes stay when you go on a stream and you like it and then you leave. The like stays until the stream ends. But if you leave, obviously the viewer count goes down. So that's why we have more likes than we have viewers right now.
Oh, we don't need bots on this channel. We're not like other channels.
We're not like other channels. I was just about to say.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
We don't need fake views.
Nope. Ashan is asking, what happens if someone receives an advanced reset and doesn't have an advanced account? Well, then keep it as a backup. Keep it as a backup. If you ever buy an advanced account and then you lose it, you can reset it for free, or you can sell the reset code to a friend.
Timo says if Maria wears a ball cap, means Matt needs to wear a curly-haired wig. Absolutely. If she does that, I will do it.
How come I get the shit end of the stick?
Well. All right, guys. Can we get to 850 likes before we end the stream here? Because we want to give away another 5 free resets for growth accounts and another 5 free resets for advanced accounts. But you got to get us to 850. There's 12 left. Come on, guys. Smash the like button really quick. Super easy. And John Cafizo, I think you got to click the live button on YouTube. That giveaway is long gone. He just put Nick Wick in the chat.
He'll hear what you said in about 20 minutes.
Yep. Like the stream, guys. Come on, let's do it.
1,000 likes at Matt and Nick need to dress like Miriam and wear a wig. Well, now we're getting into some weird areas here.
All right, guys.
Oh, damn it. Oh, shit. That's funny. That is funny.
Nice.
All right, 849. Come on. One more. I'll refresh my YouTube right now. There we go. 858. Thank you, guys. All right, let's do another giveaway for 5 free growth resets and 5 free advanced resets. The code for it, or the giveaway for it, I should say, the keyword that you type in the chat. Before you type that, actually like the stream, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and the keyword is TTV, standing for Tradeify TV. TTV for 5 free growth resets and 5 free advanced resets. Go!
Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go. There we go.
Oh. Popping off.
Oh my God. What's this?
I love it.
Chat is lagging now. I love when that happens.
I know.
Yeah, and that's just going to explode with 1,000 TTVs. There it is.
Yep. There we go.
And only
There
once,
we go.
guys. Multiple entries will not.
Will not do
Major.
anything.
Yeah.
Your chances are not going to increase. Actually, on NASDAQ, in the meantime, we just retested the 50-minute opening range. Let's see if we hold it or not.
Could be heading for the open back down at about the 800 level there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is acting like a magnet today, really.
Yeah. VWAP's also sitting around that area.
Yep, and my trend line that was faked out is sitting there as well.
Let's see. Kind of a quiet last few minutes here.
All good, John. Just don't put any more. Let's see who wins this time. Once our randomizer has picked 5 winners each, we're gonna announce them. Matt, this time you're gonna do a quick announcement round, all right? You're gonna do
Got it.
all 10 of them, like rapid fire.
There's 10?
Yeah,
All
5
right.
growth and 5
All right,
advanced.
so are we ready for the rapid fire winners here? And then we will put them in the chat, guys, before we sign off, okay? All right. For the advanced, we have Derek P, Lev Wheat Joe, Fab O, Short Bus Trader 2. I gotta laugh at that one. Trade Scalper 1. For the growth, we have Amito Japlayas, Cycling Grandpa, Harun Alias, Urun Tran, and Juha Rovinen. Boy, you guys gave me the shitty ones there.
I love you, Cycling Grandpa. I love the name.
All right, one more time. For the advanced, Derek P, Lev Wheat Joe, Fab 0, Short Bus Trader 2, Trade Scalper 1. For the growth, Amito Japlays, Cycling Grandpa, Harun Alias, Urun Tran, and Juha Rovinen. And I apologize for butchering all of those names. I'm sure at least a couple of them are like...
Matt, have you ever considered working at an auction house?
Oh, I do have a little dignity left. Not much, but there's some.
Your voice and that speed, dude. Yeah, you gotta apply. Guys, also
we're gonna 100, 200, and I gotta get it 400, 500. It's sold for $1,000.
We're gonna put the winners here in the chat in a sec. But also, don't type TTV anymore. It's not gonna do anything. Giveaway's over.
So guys, so there are the winners. You guys know what you need to do. And so as we're wrapping things up here, because it is 11:30 on the East Coast, and we got to let Miriam go so she can have breakfast, because it's what time is it? It's 8:30 over there.
Really flew by here.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, guys, here we are. We're still in this range, but I didn't even realize the time.
All right, guys. So I think it is time to put a nice little bow on this stream of Tradeify TV. Not the best price action today. I eyed up a few, didn't get into anything, and we'll do what we do, guys. But this is such is life sometimes, right? Yeah. So I appreciate everyone tuning in today. Appreciate you guys meeting all the like targets, etc., etc. And so with that, I will say goodbye, and I will turn it over to Mr. White T himself. Top tick.
Thank you, Mr. Auction House Matt. Also, before I sign off here, I wanna show the leaderboard really quick of our live traders. There we go. We currently have PW in the top spot. We have Morita S in second, then Mohammed D in third, and then on and on. I'm not going to list down the entire 10, just the top 3. But if you trade with Tradeify and you get moved to live, which this is our whole intention, is to move you to live so you can actually trade real capital, you have the chance to be on this leaderboard if you trade well. Now, to make sure that you actually trade well, we do have Coach Tank. And I think, I'm not going to make any promises, but I think we're going to have Coach Tank on tomorrow. Coach Tank is actually coaching our live traders for free. So if you're a live trader at Tradeify, you're getting free coaching from Coach Tank. But for today's stream, thank you guys so much for being here. I enjoyed it as usual. And I want to give the final words to our one and only Baron Say Matcha Mommy.
So many nicknames to keep in track. But yes, guys, we are so happy that you guys joined us today on a beautiful Monday morning or Monday evening, considering there's so many of you guys from different countries on the stream. Thank you all for always supporting us since day one. I mean, day one wasn't very long ago if you guys have been joining us since then. So appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe this channel, share it with a friend so you can help us grow as well. And as always, make sure that you practice gratitude, go tell someone that you love them today, and always strive to be 1% better than you were today. Go be great. We will see you all tomorrow.
See you guys.
All tomorrow.
See you guys.